Yeah, I'm very ready for this. Actually, these two teams played last week on the 5th. However, it did end up being a 2-0 for UW Stout Esports. So, hoping that Lionel here wants a little bit of that revenge and to be able to bring it back. But Aphelios for UW Stout on the blue side first picking. Yeah, and with these tournaments, you know, sometimes comfort is king. Really, being able to take someone off something that they're really comfortable on, even if it isn't the most meta thing, can really hurt a player. But so far for the first half, Aphelios Thresh bot lane for UW Stout and the Xin Zhao in the jungle. And then we're going to be able to see Jinx in the bot lane. Lux could be flexed into mid, but most likely is going to go support. And then Lee Sin as the counter to this end. So far, two very hyper scaling AD carries, very late game focused with their supports. Thresh being a little bit more aggressive than the Lux. And then two very early junglers. Arcane buff. Yeah, very interesting. Showing their hand, showing that the Lux is gonna go mid and there's gonna be a Braum support. So saving that final pick for their top laner, and it looks like UW Stout's gonna go ahead and answer with Volley Bear, and we'll see what their mid laner is. But with this Volley Bear, it's gonna be a very tanky top laner, has some very good dive potential with Xin Zhao at level 6. So whoever the top laner for Lionel is gonna be a little careful once that volley hits 6, because this ultimate being able to shut down turrets can be very dangerous. Yeah, for sure. Definitely has some similarities, but also can be a little different at times as well, with some of the things that it can do. Very different laning with the Sand Soldiers. But we'll have to see how he goes and plays this lane out against the Lux.
Are you certain?
Hey, you're lost. But I get it.
I recommend skipping.
Yeah.
Cool fall.
Yeah.
Your worst decisions
Yeah,
will haunt
it's been
you.
a while since we've really seen you know, the classic Azir Corki meta. I think Corki's still pretty good. Doesn't have some of the same issues that other mages have, but it's been a while since we've seen Azir come out.
We must all
Two
make our choices.
relatively normal mages in the mid lane. I think Lux does have the advantage. A little bit more range and a little bit more utility with those Qs and the shielding than the Azir does, but we'll have to see. Azir does have a lot of engage or disengage with his Shurima Shuffle and his wall that he can put up, and also a little bit more zone control with the soldiers that he can place.
For Volibear and Shinzao to really go wild as well. There's a whole lot of zone control between Thresh and Azir for UW Stout here. But I feel like we've talked a whole lot about UW Stout, and we haven't even taken a look at Lionel over here, who really have drafted a pretty sweet team comp here. I always love to see Kennen. I love to see Braum tier 2. There's a whole lot of AoE CC, but it doesn't seem like they have something that can really capitalize on it.
Yeah, the Kennen being this big AoE engage, I think what they're trying to go for is maybe a Lux Bind or a good Kennen engage and try to one-shot someone for the Jinx so that she can get excited and get the resets and be able to pop off in some of these team fights. You know, Lux lands a bind, gets the EQR, you know, big damage comes out, maybe a couple autos from Jinx and they have a kill, especially if it's on one of the squishier members, because Xin isn't going to be the tankiest character in the game, and they really only have Volibear and Thresh as their frontline. So if they can blow up someone and get Jinx the resets and get excited, she can just wreak havoc across a team fight, especially with all of those buffs that she's been getting over this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if that's what they're looking for, then that's really going to be the way to do it, right? Because typically, like, I look at this team comp and I feel like there should be a misfortune somewhere in here, right? They have a lot of AoE CC. Obviously, I might be a little bit biased because I think Jinx is the best AD carry in the game right now. That's my personal opinion, not like an objective like hey, this is definitely it. Please play this in every single game, pick ban. But yeah, it just feels like this isn't so much like a defend the hyper carry, but more so like, hey, let's pick one person out and then Jinx can run wild. I think what's really important for me about this Jinx pick is that Jeanne d'Arc, who I believe was playing jungle the last time that these two teams played, is now in the AD carry role, and they are a master tier player. They are far and away the highest ranked member of this entire set here by a mile, right? The only person who comes close here in terms of individual rank is I Am Ambush for the support role at Diamond 2.
Yeah, so it's good seeing him back on his main role instead of the jungle, where it kind of felt like he was auto-filled. So being back in his main role to be able to do what he can do best and be comfortable at with this carry position, it's going to be very good for Lionel, and I think they can probably eke out a win against UW7 if they play it right.
Yeah, and I think they've made a lot of good changes to not only their roster, but to their picks and bans as well in order to give themselves the opportunity to win. But we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the rift of game number 1 of UW Stout versus Lionel Esports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. We're in the Season 9 playoffs the round number 1 in the open uncapped tier, the cream of the crop here for Style Esports with UW Stout, the 9th seed, up against 4th seed Lionel Esports here. This is a rematch from last week where UW Stout went 2-0, but I feel like Lionel Esports is off to a pretty great start with already their pretty solid picks and bans here and moving Jean d'Arc over to back to the AD carry position. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by K9 here tonight, and we are ready to get this show on the road as a little bit of a defensive invade comes in for the red side here, and with minions ready to go, so are we.
Yeah, it looks like Lionel just kind of stacked in that brush. Did expect an invade with the Thresh. It can be a little dangerous, but looks like both teams are just kind of spread out now. Looking like JZ is starting on the blue buff and Lee Sin is starting on his red buff. So both sides of the jungle are pathing towards this bot lane early.
Yeah, and I think this is a good place to start to path towards, right? I mean, we did talk about how Xin Zhao probably will go into the top lane just because of how much power is in that side of the map. But really, both of these AD carries in the bot lane do need some attention, and as opposed to, like, you know, someone like Misfortune who you can kind of leave on an island and then they're fine. This is definitely going to need some jungle attention down here at the bot, so I'm definitely liking this pathing choice from both the junglers here, and plus, they both have really good jungle clears. You even see Lee Sin already on the blue buff here, going over to Grom probably directly afterwards, but okay, I guess Xin Zhao is going for a full clear.
Interesting. I was expecting Xin Zhao being this very early. Oh, looking bot lane.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good hook flag. Gonna force out the flash from Jean d'Arc here, already taking a whole bunch of damage. He's taking first blood, goes to I Am Ambush. They're going to be able to secure that kill on the bot lane. Not exactly ideal, but you know what? From one support player to another, good job, bud. You deserve this. Get that gold.
Very well played there. 3 summoner spells are coming out for the side of Lionel's bot lane. The flash, the heal, and the exhaust. Well, UWS only needed to use Ignite. That's all that they needed.
Yeah.
So, big summoner spell advantage bot, and Jinx having no safety now with these flash and heal. It really does set up this Xin Zhao to be able to punch it very hard in the future.
Yeah, and I think the other thing here is that Lee Sin, who is trying to go pathing into the bottom lane now had to go mid lane and is now in kind of an awkward spot where he has to walk back into his jungle and pick up wolves. And now look where Thresh is. Thresh is helping out Xin Zhao, with this first Scuttle Crab spawn here, which means Xin Zhao doesn't need to go bot. He can now path his way back up to top lane and pick up the other crab and maybe gank into this top lane, but it's just going to be really tough right now because look at the way all the lanes are pushing.
Yeah, it looks like every lane for the side of UW Stout is just shoved very hard into the turrets. Top lane shoving in, mid lane shoving in here as well, and bot lane. We'll see if they want to try and let this shove into them, or if they're going to try and crash this. But this is actually really good for Zen because he's on his right. He's going to move to Krugs here, and if they just let this push, it'll be really dangerous for Jinx to even approach the CS, and maybe even get another cheeky kill on her.
Yeah, I mean that's the name of the game when you're dealing with a hyper carry. Kills are really one of the best ways to deny a hyper carry farm, because the more time that they're out of lane, the more opportunity you have to kind of crash waves into their turret and deny them more CS and experience here. As that's going to be the play backwards here. They look for a little bit of a cheeky engage here, but can't quite find it. Ooh, wait a minute.
Oh.
I Am Ambush.
Oh.
Ooh, they're going forward. There's a flash as well. The choppers are not good this time. Nash Kren this time picks up the kill on Jean d'Arc.
Yeah, really good play there by Ambush there. Gets the flag, gets the hook, and able to pick up another kill onto this Jinx. So that's 2 kills in the bot lane, both on this Jinx, and that's a kill going in for the AD carry of Nash.
Yeah, and I think the big thing here is that the blue side bot lane still has summoner spell advantage at the end of both of those kills, right?
Yeah.
Like, all they used was Ignite the first time round, and now they've used both their flashes, but they're still up. It's 2-1 at this stage, and if they try to make any sort of aggressive play here on the red side, Noshkren still has that exhaust available.
Yeah, and Ambush's Ignite is also just come up off of cooldown, so they can look for even more kills. But Ambush looking topside, trying to find that cannon, but he took a nice little recall, get out of any danger, and maybe he's gonna try to do something here against Lux.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good for my ambush here. Throws out the hook.
A little wide.
No death sentence this time.
Yeah, it was a good attempt though. I like the idea. I like the try. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Nosh
is
should
a
be
really-
pretty safe here. But
yeah. I mean, this is a really good time to really roam for the Aphelios because he's got the blue gun, and yeah, they really cannot move forward here. I am ambush. That's a very poor shield pushed by Nova Kappa there. That's gonna be the exhaust coming out. They're still looking for more.
Oh,
Hook comes
no.
across. They find John d'Arc. Lux ultimate comes across. Bonko has teleported into the lane here. Thresh is gonna be taken down here. Jay-Z is looking for a way out, but Bonko is taken incredibly low.
Whoa.
Nosh Kren needs one more auto attack. Jay-Z is gonna be
Heal?
the one picking it up.
Whoa.
Toby Leroy is now taken really low. Nosh Kren with the flamethrower, absolutely huge. Presses the Q on the gravity gun. Gonna snare up for just a little bit longer, but can't find Nova Kappa because he's underneath the turret. What a play!
wow, I mean, I thought that was gonna turn the moment Banco came down. You got the huge ulti onto ambush, got the kill there, but the Xin Zhao, the Conqueror, the Triumph, getting those heals, keeping himself alive against the Lee Sin at just a sliver of HP, really allowed them to turn that fight.
Yeah, and this bot lane is really looking not great for Lionel Esports here. They're 0-3 on this Jinx. Luckily, she's keeping up in CS, which is such a huge godsend if you are a hyper carry in this kind of state right now.
Top lane.
Wait a minute. Flash forward. There's the lightning, but the
the
slicing
hook.
maelstrom response. The flash prediction from I Am Ambush. Absolutely insane. They're trying to give the kill away. Kitson, you just pick it up. Okay, I Am Ambush. All right.
Oh my! What a hook!
Oh
You read him
my
like
God.
a book there.
Oh my God, Bunny Fufu, is that you?
Oh man.
Bunny Fufu, what's going on, dog? What are you doing here in Style Esports? What's up?
Oh, Ambush playing
my God.
so well right now. I mean,
Oh.
they banned the Warwick, but I think you need to worry about this man's Thresh.
Holy moly! Yeah, I Am Ambush is known for their Lulu play 318 games on it, and they banned it away pretty much instantly in the first phase of bans. But really, got me afraid of this guy's Thresh. Look at him coming into the bot lane now. It's just like, yeah, what's up? Got red white? Cool. I'll finally show up to lane.
Yeah. He's just hunting for anything you can find now.
Yeah. And this is what happens when you get a good gold lead into this bot lane here. You really do have the ability to just kind of go wherever you want, and I love the meta of supports roaming around.
Uh-oh. Toby.
Yeah, Toby Leroy's looking for something here. Q's gonna land. There's the dash. There's the kick. Gonna knock him out of range of the Braum Q, and that's huge. Teleport coming in from Volley Bear here. He does have the ultimate available. They might look for a turret dive here. Okay, looks like Volley Bear is backing away.
I think Toby was trying to insect there, and he just kind of kicked him to safety.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a misplay there. So no kill common spot. That could have been something, but doesn't look like really anything comes out of it. So Toby's ult's gonna be on cooldown now, and no kill to gain.
God, I Am Ambush is just waiting. I think Bonko kind of smells something because the Sand Soldier popped up so close to where Lux was that she was like, okay, what's going on here? And immediately started walking away. So Thresh is not going to be able to find anything just yet. She's not going to be able to find that mid lane kill, but man, I'm just loving this play from I Am Ambush. I am loving the meta of roaming supports. It really makes your team have like a second jungler, which in a lot of cases can really help snowball your team. And half the time, like your support ends up being behind in levels, right? Like only now is I Am Ambush hitting level 6. But like at the end of the day, like your support is going to be behind in levels anyway, so it's not really the end of the world.
Yeah, and first item already completed. Nosh picks up the Immortal Shield Bow, so you know, huge item disparity in the bot lane.
Yeah, and despite what guns Nosh Kren has right now, it's really important that green-white is still good. Okay, well, they don't have green anymore, but they do have the gravity gun, which could be very good for this gank right here. I Am Ambush, Lantern Blade Flash over the chompers, diving onto John d'Arc to force out the heal right now. The wind has become lightning. GZ picks up the kill. Nosh Kren's on a rampage, double kill in the bot lane. Lux is hovering around the side here, maybe looking to catch a wave, maybe looking to catch someone staying for a little bit too long. But for the most part, that's a huge win for UW Stout.
Yeah, really well played by Nash. Threw the chakram away to pull out the gravity gun, and gets the Q from the sniper, I believe, and able to lock down the Jinx with that from such a long way away that the follow up from the Xin Zhao and the Braum and the Thresh were there as well. So ambush looks like he's a little caught out here. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a good Lancer play coming across, but they're going to go right on top of the Chompers. Novacap is going to give some space to Bonko right here. Dash over, trying to keep themselves alive because that's a carry. Shurima Shuffle! Absolutely huge!
Oh,
Triple kill for Nosh Kren!
Wow. Dewey there, the Shurima Shuffle into 3 members. Sadly, Nosh does fall, but I mean, you get 3 kills out of it, you don't really care. Oh, wow.
Oh my god. UW Stout is playing out of their minds right now. They're playing 2 insanely flashy champions and are knocking it out of the park.
They're playing so well. Ambush playing incredibly well. Dewey, that play was huge. JZ, it feels like he's been almost everywhere as well. You know, 10 KP. There's been 12 kills. I mean, they're just playing so well. The one thing is, I mean, top lane's been relatively quiet. You know, the only 1 kill being top lane. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Your volley's up on what, over 20 CS as well. It just feels like they're just winning on every front right now.
Yeah, and you know, I kind of talked about having like maybe putting a whole lot of pressure onto the top side, but I feel like UW Stout is just like no, we're putting into the bot lane. We need to be able to shut down Jean d'Arc, and I feel like they've been doing a good job of that so far. Jinx is behind 15 CS, and I am ambush is looking for more just with the tip of the death sentence. Gonna come across Toby. Leroy goes down. Novacap is taken pretty low right here, but the Lux Mine is gonna keep Dewey away. Soldiers are gonna dash forward. Dewey does have the Shurima ultimate, the Shurima wall coming across. Super Mega Death Rocket from Jinx. Just gonna deal some poke damage. Not gonna be able to pick anything up. The blue team does also pick up the Ocean Drake as well. So now that's 2 Drakes to nothing as Infernal is the soul of this map.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just gonna give so much more damage to Nosh and Dewey and JZ. And you know, they're already up 2 dragons at this point. You know, at 13 minutes. You know, and looking to pick up an early soul with this gold lead. It almost feels like if you're a fan of Lionel, that you know, there's really you're hoping for a good team fight, and Jinx picks up, you know, 2 or 3 kills, get some of those shutdown gold onto her. That's really your only way out.
Yeah, that really is, I feel like, the saving grace at this point. Is look at even Dewey, someone who doesn't really have that huge KP, is still doing so much damage in this mid lane. Bonko can't really press onto this turret even with Nova Kappa there to help clear out some of these minions with those friendship procs.
Yeah, I mean, she not able to get the CS that she needs. You know, even with Nova Kappa there, it still looked like Dewey was in control of that lane and was fighting in the 1v2. He has no fear whatsoever.
Yeah, it is really looking tough for Lionel Esports here, and I felt like they had a lot of shining moments coming into this game, right? You know, they're ready for a rematch from last week. You know, they had a really they learned a whole lot, and they were fixing up their draft. They picked a pretty comfortable team for themselves, but man, UW Stouts just came out the gate soaring, looking for those easy kills into the bot lane, accelerating them so far ahead that now it just seems like Lionel Esports is just stuck in this perpetual state of being behind almost. As now if you take a look at the gold at about nearly 15 minutes in here, that's nearly a 6,000 gold difference between these 2 teams.
Yeah, I know, 6,000 gold at 15 minutes, and it looks like top lane.
Oh yeah, Flash Flay. Antlemon's Lover has to throw out the slicing Maelstrom here. That's going to be the hook to pull them in closer. Ends up getting the stun, but the ultimate from Kitsune is going to shut off that turret and shut off Antlemon's Lover.
Yeah, I mean, and here comes the Rift Herald now too. First turret looks like it's gonna fall topside, and they're, you know, all these advantages everywhere, every time, and there's no response from Lionel. You have you have Nova in the mid helping Banco just be able to farm and push it in. Bot lane's a 1v1. John Dark can't really do anything against Nosh because he's so far ahead, and your jungler is just farming. Like there's
Yeah.
really no answer for anything that they've done right now.
Yeah, and this is kind of what happens, right? I feel like folks when they get behind start to play either way too passive or it's like extremes folks start to go to. They either play too passive or don't know like how to get advantages on the map, right? If you are playing from behind right here. But this is such a huge deficit that, you know, I struggle to think of what they could be doing different.
Yeah, it really does feel like Lionel Esports doesn't have any options that they can go for, being almost set over 7K gold behind. That you're just hoping you're hoping for a mistake at this point.
Yeah, and it seems like there are very few ones at this point. I feel like the biggest mistake right now is that the blue team is advancing so far in this bot lane without really any warding in the river at all. Luckily, they're going to be able to spot out Lee Sin as he walks through his own jungle. But, you know, they're just advancing so far. Look at the blue warding for the river on this bot side. It's dark. It is nothing here. And now Toby Leroy is going to be able to come into this. Is going to look for a 3v2 right here. That's going to be the dash in, the play away, the kick, and ambush himself is isolated here, but Nova Kappa is taken incredibly low. Kitsune and Dewey are here. Dives right in, looking for Jean d'Arc. Can't quite find it. That Lux binding is huge. Final spark comes across, but not going to land on anyone. Kitsune is going to pick up the kill on Jean d'Arc this time. Toby Leroy caught inside the box, going to be slowed up and finished off by Nosh. Dewey's now in some trouble. Finally going to pick up a kill for Banco right here as Kitsune is looking for more. Here comes the Thunder, going to slow down Banco just a little bit more. Kitsune still wants it, but can't find the kill onto Lux. I Am Ambush is going to finish off that turret, and at the end of the day, it's a 2-for-1 in the bot lane.
For Lionel, that's not as bad as that could have gone. That could have gone so much worse. It was only a 2-for-1, I believe. And you know, picking up the kill onto Dewey, I don't think he had a shutdown, which is a little unfortunate. But you almost did kill Ambush. He got very low. Shilbo did proc, and Jay-Z also got very low. So, you know, a couple more autos, you know, ults go off because Banco and Jean d'Arc both have their ultis, or if Kennen TP's down there, you know, that could be a huge swing for Lionel, but they get out with a kill lead and now are going to be able to pick up this dragon and be on soul point.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing here, that now they're on soul
Kappa.
point. Oh, no.
Kappa.
Nova Kappa is taken incredibly low. Tries to flash away, too, but there's nowhere to go. Blue team picks up another kill.
You really can't be checking River like that. You have no wards. You know that they were just on Dragon. It just feels like you were giving them that kill.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bet to see if they were still in the area, but it looks like that was a bet that Nova Kappa didn't exactly want there. But, you know, it's just, you know, it's really tough across the map, right? Kennen doesn't really have a good opportunity to teleport to a lot of these fights, and since it seems like he's behind in gold, he's keeping up in CS fairly well, but has yet to finish a mythic, doesn't have that rocket belt yet, and doesn't have a stopwatch either. Like, those are two pretty big items for Kennen to be successful in these team fights, especially from behind, right? So being behind in these items here in this top lane is really going to be, you know, a little bit detrimental to a lot of these team fights, especially if they're expecting Aklamon's Lover to teleport into these fights.
Yeah, I mean, he's keeping up on CS very well, and there it is. The protoboat's just finished now, so gonna help a little bit with his burst potential.
Excuse me, it's a hashtag rocket belt.
My bad.
Excuse me.
Little older
I'm
proto belt.
gonna have to fine you for this cast.
Oh no, please. Well, it was proto belt for a hot second.
Yeah. Nova Kappa here is gonna get flayed and slowed up, but they're not gonna be able to catch up.
Yeah. But Rockabouts is not completed, so gonna be able to have that little bit of dash and a little bit more of that burst to be able to get into those fights. And oh my god, ambush!
Oh yeah, good hook and a flay as well. The Shurima shuffle comes through. Banco is in a real bad spot right here, but is gonna be able to back away to relative safety here. Might actually be able to get away as well. Here comes Atlamon's Lover into the fight. Gonna find a huge stun across, but he's taken incredibly low by Nosh Krem before getting that micro stun right there. Kitsune taking a bunch of damage from Jean d'Arc as Nova Kappa went down on the top side around those wolves. At the end of the day, it's a 2-for-0, and Lionel Esports is just pinging the heck out of Baron. They're going right there.
Yeah, and I don't think they can really respond. they have no idea that this is even going. There's no vision in the river. There's no vision anywhere. Bongo is TPing up here, so I think they might have smelled it out. And Toby does have the smite, so if he can get here, it could be a 50-50. But oh man!
Oh, it was really close. Jay-Z didn't have smite, and it was Dewey who killed the Baron. So it was a second away from being taken by Lux there. So it was a lot closer, I feel, than a 50-50 in that moment. But holy moly.
Bango almost gets it. His E did get out. His R was just a little bit late. So, a fraction of a second faster. And, maybe that Baron goes over to Lionel. You have that Baron buff to extend, or to extend the game time, not being able to push, get a little bit of gold, and just be able to try and delay a little bit longer for those items on the Jinx. But looks like not the case this game, and Style is going to be able to pick up Baron and going to be able to start using it down this mid lane.
Yeah, I do want to really quick throw in a bit of a subjective point, maybe a personal opinion. I'm not a big fan of the Rabadons. Rush for Lux. Oh, wait a minute, that's gonna be the hook and the play on the Nova Kappa here. This might be the fight because W Roy's coming in from the side. The box is gonna come up from I Am Ambush, so it means they're gonna be slowed by 99%. W Roy's not gonna be able to get into this fight, so it's a peel back and forth. Really quickly, I don't like the Rabadons. I think Horizon Focus is a much better item for Lux. Second item. Yeah.
Oh, Nova.
Oh my god, one more time. Not going to be able to do it this time.
Yeah, going for the Rabadon, it's going to give her a lot of burst damage, but I do agree. I think the Horizon Focus just works better. Oh, good flash.
Ooh, yeah, Toby the Roy flashes over the Shrima wall there. Not going to be able to get knocked backwards or hooked by the death sentence from I Am Ambush, but that bot lane turret will go down as UW Stout is doing a really good job of pressing their advantage all across the map. Death sentence once again, still no hooks this time.
Man, this poke from the Azir, just the Q from his shoulders, is putting Atma's Lover so low, and oh, there's the death sentence.
Ooh, yeah, good hook onto Nova Kappa before he can throw down that Glacial Fissure. They're not going to land this time. Volibear did back and then looked like he backed and then immediately teleported top, but it looks like he didn't quite do that. Nosh Kren nearly going down to that Super Mega Death Rocket.
Yeah, getting very low, thinking that shield mode keep him just enough alive to not die there, so keeps that 700 gold shutdown out of the pockets of Lionel Esports here for the time being.
Yeah, and I'm definitely liking this build coming out from Nosh Kren as well. You can't exactly go lethality for Aphelios here, so it's really gonna be the straight crit build, which I feel like is perfectly fine. There's not anyone on the opposing team who's building armor. The most amount of armor that's been built are plated steel caps by Lee Sin and an Aegis of the Legion by Braum. Like, there's not gonna be a whole lot that you need to pierce through here. I don't even think you need to go for a Lord Dominic's Regards here.
Yeah, and already picking up that Infinity Edge, so 3 items deep, 23 minutes, and with the Infernal Soul, Nosh is going to be putting out some serious damage in these fights. It's going to be very, very hard. Uh-oh.
Ooh, yeah. Le Mans Lover is going to be in a whole lot of trouble here. Going to try to use that Pikachu speed in order to get away from there. Pikachu, use Volt Tackle. Okay, now Pikachu, flash over the wall. Oh. Pikachu got... Oh, no. Pikachu fainted.
Yeah, Pikachu sadly
use
has
next Pokemon?
To,
yes? No?
what's like a polar bear polar bear Pokemon?
Oh, that would be Bay Arctic.
Bay Arctic? It's been so long since
Bay
I played
Arctic.
Bay Arctic picking up the kill on the Pikachu.
Yeah, he's literally just a bipedal polar bear with an icicle beard.
I was thinking the one Ursa Pokemon, but that's just like
Ursa Ring?
Yeah, Ursa Ring.
Yeah, he's a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
That's not a polar bear.
No. But it was the one Pokemon that I was thinking that was a bear. It just wasn't a Pokemon.
Oh, then I don't know.
Oh, Nova.
Never mind. Nova Kappa might be caught up again. That's going to be Jay-Z diving on a John to Arc right here. Use that Crescent Guard. Going to get snared up by the Chompers here as he tries to Dark Passage their way out of there, but not going to be able to pick up that up just yet. I'm
Bush
Ambush still
can't.
looking for more. Great hook, great flame, great box. Going to pick up the kill, putting off both the Nexus turrets as well as Kitsune is looking for a little bit more. They're going to be able to pick up the kill onto Atlamon's lover, and now the red team has to retreat all the way to the...
no.
But look at that Shurima shuffle, absolutely huge, as now the team is looking at all those chakrams. Noshkren is going to throw them away, and they're just going to dash around the Nexus as they pick up game one. UW Stout looks for a repeat performance.
Yeah, very, very well played by by Stout there. You know, very dominant the whole game, 24-3. So just very, very well played. I mean, it didn't really give Lionel a chance to ever come back during that entire game.
Yeah. It was definitely really well played by UW Stout. And I came into this game throwing up a bunch of question marks because usually when I see one tricks like Jay-Z, who have a bunch of games on champions, a bunch of games on one particular champion, and then their games on other champions are in single digits, right? Usually when I see some one tricks, they'll be like, okay, I've got like 150 games on this champion, but I've got like 40 on this one, 30 on this one. You're like, okay, you're still playing the game. You're still playing other champions, right? But when I take a look at a thing like Jay-Z, who has 62 games on Warwick just this season, right? And you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like a one trick. And then you look at the rest of his history, and it's like 600 games of Warwick, 300 games of Warwick, 200 games of Warwick. And you're like, oh, okay. We know it's up. But like the rest of the match history is just single digits, and you're like, okay, come on, buddy. Like, do you know how to play this game, or do you know how to play that champion, right? But Jay-Z really well executed on the Shinzao for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Be able to put on a lot of pressure, but I mean, Ambush, he just hit so many flays and just roamed around so well that game. I mean,
Yeah.
he was hitting all the death sentences, everything. He played so well, and I mean, it felt like he kind of won bot lane by himself.
Yeah, for sure. As we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be in picks and bans of game number 2 of UW Stout versus Lionel Esports. Don't go anywhere. This is a match between two titans, the best of the best, the cream of the crop here for Style Esports. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. everyone, welcome back to Style Esports Season 9 Playoffs. My name is Shinkari and I'm joined by K9, and tonight we have two teams from the top of our list at UW Stat and Lionel Esports in the open uncapped division. These are the best of the best, some of the best teams in Style Esports, the top 12. And tonight we have the 9th best team, UW Stat, up against the 4th best team, Lionel Esports. We're in game number 2 right now, and Lionel and UW Stat came out of game number 1 looking really, really strong with that very decisive 1-0 victory.
Yeah, and so far, band's exact same, I'm pretty sure, from last game. Baker, Zach, Israel, LeBlanc, Warwick, Lulu. Yep. And UW Stout running the Aphelios back went very well last game, but Lionel's looking to change things up a little bit with the Jhin up first. So looking to challenge that Aphelios early, and there's the Morgana to go with it.
Yeah, Morgana is definitely a very good champion into the Thresh, right? That Black Shield is very good, but also a very good pick with the Jhin as well. And I kind of like this pick by Lionel here by picking up the Morgana early. It means that UW Stat are kind of put on the back foot if they look to lock in the Thresh, but it looks like they're locking in the Karma instead.
Yep, so no Thresh, unfortunately. Played very well last game. Looking to change it up with going Karma and Graves. Now, Graves, very good champion, is a 3-way flex, can go top, mid, or jungle, and it is very, very strong right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so many people have played Graves in a bunch of different lanes, like you said, to a whole lot of success, right? And if the opposing team is going to lock in half of their team, it's fairly squishy champions that aren't going to lock in a whole lot of armor, this is definitely a good team to be having someone who has a lot of lethality in their build. So Graves is a really good pickup here. And while I think we're both in the same boat of, yeah, Graves can really go anywhere, I think it's going to be going into the mid lane because this is definitely a comfort pick for Dewey.
Yeah, it'll be very fun to see him playing on this Graves, a very different champion than we saw last game with the Azir. So, but Lionel's going to go ahead and respond with the Viego. Also a little bit of a flex, can go into that mid, can go into the jungle. Right. So we'll see, but Zinjo is going to be banned out. So my guess is this Viego is going to go into the mid, is going to go into the jungle. And they're going to look to hit out some of UW Stout's junglers because they think that Graves is also going into mid.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good play here as well. Once again, Jay-Z did perform very well on Xin Zhao, and also they don't have the largest pool. You know, I still kind of throw a question, even though Jay-Z showed up and made me put my own foot in my mouth. You know, that's interesting. Fear ban. I guess they're guessing it's a top lane Graves for Kitsune. I mean, that could be where it's going.
I mean, yeah.
But you know, Jay-Z still, you know, has those kind of low amounts of games on other champions. Now, Xin Zhao is a pretty easy champion to execute on. So I'm not like super surprised that, you know, a person who plays a lot of jungle can execute on the Xin Zhao. But now with that off the table, you know, they now have to dig just a little bit deeper to find a pick that can be influential here. I mean, the Jarvan is still available, even though they got the nerfs, and I believe 1120. I still think that they're fairly good here, and if it's going to be playing a double marksman comp, being able to make space is the most important thing for your front line to do so that you can have those double marksmen really run wild.
Yeah, and looks like it's going to be the Orianna, so a little bit more of a safer control pick. But Lionel does have that Syndra, which can be very punishing for Orianna and do a lot of damage to be able to just blow up these squishy characters like Aphelios or Graves or Orianna very quickly with that ultimate. And then gonna go ahead and run back the Volibear. So they're gonna be that top lane tankiness and a little bit of that dive.
Yeah, and I think this is pretty interesting here coming out from UW Stout. I do like that Volibear is going to be the ball delivery service here. I personally would have liked maybe something just a little bit tankier, maybe say an Ornn, but now we're getting into the, you know, I think we even mentioned this in game number 1 where, you know, comfort is king. Like we can talk until we're blue in the face about, oh, they should have picked this champion, they should have picked that champion. But if they, you know, they're not comfortable on that champion, they're probably not going to perform as well. But I do like this team come from UW Stout here. They do have ways of making space for these double marksmen, and they have really, really good dive potential with that volley bear if they need to, and a whole lot of burst damage as well.
Yeah, and Lionel's gonna go ahead and round out the comp with that Tom Kench. So a little bit more engage and a very, very tanky character. So Graves is gonna be going into this jungle. I'm assuming Volibear is gonna be going top, but you never know. They could look to mix things up a little bit and go ahead and send that Volibear jungle Graves top. But if it is the Volibear top and they run it back like last game, it is gonna be into that Tom Kench, which I'm not sure how that matchup goes. I don't think I haven't really seen a lot of it. But it'll be interesting. My guess it's probably just going to be a little bit of a wet noodle fight in the top lane. And mainly the junglers are going to be focusing on this mid lane if you're especially Lionel with the Syndra, or the bot lane if you are EW Stout and are going to try and get that Aphelios rolling again.
Yeah, I feel like we should talk about just a little bit more about this top lane matchup here, because feels like Atlamon's Lover isn't exactly the most comfortable in the top lane. They're an 80 carry player first, and you know, in that game in the top lane, it didn't feel like they really had a pretty big impact in the game as a whole. And I think that's mostly important, and it kind of shows their uncomfortableness in the top lane, because they don't exactly know when to teleport into a certain fight, or maybe they were told not to teleport into a fight. Who knows, right? We can only guess as to what the comms look like with players, right? But usually when you pick a character like Kennen, you want them teleporting into these fights and using those slicing maelstroms. But you know, we saw a lot of times that even though they were keeping up in CS, they were still falling behind when it came to a lot of other things in terms of kills and assists as well. So let's see how it plays out in the top lane here. I think Tom Kench will really be pressured early in these first few levels with the Volibear when he doesn't have the thick skin leveled. But, you know, we have to watch out, because Tom Kench is one of those characters that is a quote-unquote tank, you know?
Yep.
You think he's not going to do damage, and then, oops.
He eats someone and then spits them out, and their health bar goes from almost full to, you know, missing, you know, 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. Syndra in the mid lane against this Dewey's Orianna. I think that's also a little bit of a matchup to watch. Syndra, if you know they get ahead and they get rolling, can be very dangerous. The balls and the stuns and the amount of damage that she can do, just deleting a member for GW Stout can be very, very dangerous, especially if she gets strong enough where she can just delete Aphelios even through the shield of Immortal Shield Bell.
Yeah. And I think the big thing here is I'm really going to throw my eyes onto this Karma for sure, because I think the biggest change as to why we've seen a little bit more Karma support as opposed to Karma in the mid lanes is because of the change to her shield. They reduced the movement speed that you get off of it, but they increased the shielding amount. So there are some support Karma builds that go into that max E first, or even sometimes second, in order to make sure that when they do that empowered E, that the whole team gets massive shields. Just really being able to tank that, and it's really going to be important to tank through that Syndra damage, like you said, because you know this team can just really run through you if one of you is picked off by Jhin or Syndra.
Yeah, one of the problems with Lionel's comp, they really don't have any form of engage. Their engage mainly consists off of a Tom Kench W, a Viego getting a pick onto an important character and stealing their abilities, maybe a Syndra hitting a good QE stun, or you know a rogue Morgana Q into a Jhin W. So you don't really have a lot of go buttons. Whereas if you're the side of UW Stout, you have a Volibear Orianna combo. You have Aphelios with the Gravitum ultimate to be able to root multiple people. You have a little bit more options if you're UW Stout than if you do if you're Lionel.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about go buttons. I mean, there's also Karma there as well. You know, there's probably going to be seeing that Shirelia's battle song come out as well. Like that's another important go button that can be combined with the empowered shield. Like you said, there's just so many good engage buttons from UW Stout, but I don't even know if Lionel specifically needs one, right? Like they do have some decent engage, right? If they were to use either Viego or Tom Kench. But for the most part, they just need to find someone within range and full combo them, right? Or even using curtain call as say an engage button, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if they per se need one. This is a very reactive comp that if the enemy team moves into them, they have a whole lot of tools to kite backwards and then re-engage into the fight. But we'll have to see how these two team comps go against each other as we head into the Rift. We're going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the Rift of game number 2 of UW Stout versus Lionel Esports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. As we got a level 1 engaged that are coming in right here. That's going to be First Blood picked up for Jean d'Arc and Lionel Esports coming into this game strong. Hi, how is everyone doing? My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by K9, and we're ready to get this game underway, especially after that so bloody start. As that's going to be, yeah, a real good start to this match of UW Stop versus Lionel Esports, game number 2.
Yeah, already starting out with a kill and goes to John d'Arc, so already up with the longsword. Longsword boot start for this Jin. It's gonna feel really good if you're John d'Arc, as a Jin player myself. Picking up First Blood and coming back to lane with a free longsword along with boots can feel very, very nice for laning phase.
Yeah, I mean it's just yeah, I mean I struggle to add on to that, right? It's just very good as
Oh,
I am
and
ambush.
he's looking
Oh,
for
no
it.
no way. No shot. Come on.
Now,
Okay. Not today. Okay.
he was looking
Well,
for it.
yeah, it was a good attempt. I mean, it was pretty much uncontested, so at the end of the day, sure. We take those. As Graves looking to do similar pathing up towards this top half of the map. Maybe we might see these two junglers meet around that scuttle crab, but we'll have to see how Kitsunite and Atlamon's lover play out these early levels, because this could be a very good way for Kitsunite to get an advantage here.
Yeah, one thing to note in the mid lane, Banco is gonna go ahead and run that Predator. If you watched Worlds, you would know that it was run a little bit in Worlds. I believe the LeBlanc took it in a game. So looking to kind of say, hey, I'm just gonna shove in lane and then I'm gonna pop Predator and go bot lane and kill your AD carry because Predator gives you that more damage and that movement speed. So gonna try
Yeah,
and play for a lot of roaming, Banco. I'm assuming with that Predator. So hopefully he does that and doesn't just sit in mid lane and say, I'm actually playing the game with one less rune
yeah.
because I wanted to take Predator. So,
Yeah, and that's kind of the biggest thing here too. Like if you look for a particular like build, you have to make sure why the people are doing that specific build, and then make sure that you're also doing that as well. You can say that Predator is the best rune for Syndra right now, but if you don't know why or what to do with it, then you really are kind of putting yourself behind, because there are a lot of runes that are just more consistent on other characters.
yep.
Speaking of runes, the bot lanes, the supports are really looking to kill each other down there.
Oh,
Wait a minute, Dewey and Bonko. Dewey's in some trouble
whoa!
here. Flashing for Leroy from the wall from Toby Leroy. Dewey's going to respond by flashing back over. So no first blood just yet for either side.
Yeah, but Dewey not having flash on this very mobile mid laner could set up for Toby to come back and look to do some more, but uh, doesn't look like Ambush is gonna find much.
Yeah, and Lamont's lover, or excuse me, I am Ambush is doing a real good job of roaming around the map, but I don't think this is the time to do it. Toby Leroy doing a whole lot of damage. I am Ambush forced to flash away. Yeah, it's way too early in the game to making these kinds of roams just yet, bud.
Yeah, looking probably look to slow down a little bit. Grab the scuttle crab, maybe calm down on the constant fighting. I mean, Dragon hasn't even spawned yet, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, this is a real good play. I still think from I am Ambush, right? The decision making I think is relatively good, right? You I am Ambush was so successful in roaming around the map, and a lot of people didn't expect it. But this is now the third game within a week that you've played against this team, against this fives team right here, and they kind of become wise to the kinds of things that you like doing, right? You can't exactly pull off the same thing every single time, right? And especially this early in the game on a character like Karma, who isn't going to have the best early game, right? Probably better than some other enchanters, but still relatively squishy when Viego is roaming around. Can be really tough to execute on these roams.
Ooh, good black shield there.
Ooh, I am Ambush
Oh,
still looking for more. The grapple comes across here, going to snare them up, but I don't think there's going to be a whole lot more there as Toby Leroy shows up in the mid lane
uh-oh.
here. Still look at the fight. Jean d'Arc is going to pop
He doesn't
out
have
the
poor shot.
Cleanse here. Yeah, he doesn't have
Oh,
that. Ooh,
oh, he gets
flashes
it.
forward. Going to be able to find Nosh Kren here. Jay-Z is looking for a little bit more. Jean d'Arc is on the wrong side here, just delaying as much as possible until Ant Lamon's lover can show up, but it looks like they were interrupted here. Oh, it's actually Bonko who is coming in from the mid lane here, just a little too late. I am Ambush still looking for a little bit more.
Ooh.
Dark Binding not going to land. That's going to be the binding coming across our Nova Kappa here, diving forward, looking for the Q from Graves. Going to deal some decent damage to Bonko here. Still looking for the kill, going to slow them up, but still too far away, so not going to be able to find it this time. Meanwhile, Anlamon's Lover looking to fight Kitsunite in this top lane right here, but I don't think you want this fight, bud. Look at how much damage Kitsunite does.
Yeah, this volley is gonna be pretty tough to fight earlier. With the lightning chains and the extra damage. Whereas, these short trades are going to go much better for Kitsune compared to the Tom Kench, who needs the stacks to get his passive and to be able to get that stun off. Whereas if you're the Volley Bear, you can just kind of bonk with the stun and then just kind of run away. They get the shield, don't need to worry much.
Yeah,
So,
and I think the big thing for me is usually when you're upping these kinds of matchups where you're up against a lane opponent that does want these really short trades, you want to put more points into your thick skin, even if it is just 1 point before level 6 as a kind of a means to just be like, okay, like let's just get this, let's just get that little bit of extra like little healing here. Like that's really important. But Antlemon's Lover has gone into full Q points early. So that means he's not going to get as much healing out of the thick skin.
yeah, so the short trades are going to hurt a little bit more because he's not going to get as much of that healing, which, if you're the Tom Kench, kind of is a big deal with your whole lane phase.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big reason why people take Tom Kench into matchups where the opponent, even though they have lots of damage, go for short trades. Because even though in the damage department you don't match up, in the healing department you do match up very well because you're able to heal through a chunk of the damage that the opposing laner can do to you. And since you're starting with the Doran Shield and typically get runes to help you with that healing, you're able to sustain through a lot of the damage that they're able to throw at you. But, Outlamon's Lover had to reset there because they were so low on HP after all those trades from Kitsune.
Yeah, Jay-Z looking for something bot lane is gonna get spotted out on this ward, so nothing really gonna come to that. But looks like they are gonna start heading over towards this Ocean Drake, and with Oriana coming down, 4 members here, I don't really think there's a way that they can contest.
I mean, they do have Prio in the bot lane right now for a little bit longer. The wave is about to crash in the center, but Toby Leroy is looking for a fight right now. That's going to be the chains coming across.
Oh, he
Dashes
gets
forward,
it.
looks for the 50-50. Going to be able to steal it away, but he trades his life for it. Viego goes down, even though he's stolen. Now Nova Kappa is in some trouble right now, as that's going to be red-white for Nosh Krem, but he can't quite get close into the fight here. As that's a great dark binding. Tether is going to come down from I Am Ambush here, looking for for Nova Kappa here. They're going to keep channeling the ultimate, looking for the kill in the Graves. Can't quite find it, and John d'Arc is going to be able to get away. Nova Kappa taken incredibly low as well. And looks like they're just going to be able to get away here. They're able to steal the Drake, which is huge. Ocean Drake is a really good Drake to pick up at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it's gonna really help with these laners giving the regen. Um, but another kill does go on to Jay-Z on this Graves, so it comes down to if they can make use of this dragon and keep that dragon soul, get an early one or delay uh Stout from getting it, then it can be very useful. But again, it's just instant gold into the pocket of Jay-Z on this Graves.
Yeah, and I think the other big thing is, ooh, okay, we're getting some damage onto Antlemon's Lover here. Toby Leroy shows up in the top lane. The
Oh,
Kitsune, oh, wait, he's going to be gathered up, spat back out, going to have to use that ultimate to try to get away, but that's going to be the Heartbreaker coming across. Toby Leroy is going to be the one picking up the kill in the top lane.
yeah, very good gank there from Toby, and Atmas gets the stacks, gets the chop and the feast onto the volley. It takes him on a little bit of a ride back into the minion wave and back into Toby. So that's another kill on the board, and the first kill actually for Toby of this game.
Yeah, and this is definitely something you want, right? This is Viego is a snowbally champion. Once they get a lead, it's very hard to shut them down, right? That ultimate
Ooh.
oh the ultimate plus the passive gives Toby Leroy so much time of invulnerability and so much healing as well. And plus with the new crit build of picking up the immortal shield bow means that they are going to be able to survive very well as Nova Kappa. for I Am Ambush here. None of the CC is going to land, but Bonko still wants more here. I Am Ambush doing a great job of dashing back and forth. Those fancy feet. Bonko's going to be saved by from the tether
Oh
by the
my
black
god.
shield. Now Bonko might be in some trouble, but Dewey is real low on mana. I don't know if they can answer this right here. Jay-Z is ready to go. Does have that blue buff. Does look like they're not going to be able to grab it this
Ambush with the
time.
fancy footwork here, dodging
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, they're still looking for more, though. Gonna get some good damage. Nova Kappa is here as well. Oh my god, they really can't find anything to I Am Ambush. Oh my god, that's
Oh
the
my-
first spell to land. Bonko is in some trouble.
Oh.
Throws out the ultimate, forced to
Oh.
flash away. Command attack comes across. That's gonna be the stopwatch
Oh,
coming across. That's
ambush!
I Am Ambush picking up the kill. Tether comes across. Ignite as well. Can they find the last bit
Oh,
of
but
damage? Nova
Toby-
Kappa taking incredibly low. Ignite is taken. They're gonna be able to find the double kill, but Viego and Jin sweep in for the 2 for 2 in the mid lane.
Oh my god. That was quite the fight mid there. Oh my god. And Graves.
Oh no, yeah, Graves, you don't want this fight, but dashing through, trying to get those grit stacks, but it's not going to be able to keep them alive for that much longer. And this is not a start you want for UW Esports here, especially on this Viego here. Is now Kitsune is in some trouble. Gonna dash forward, not gonna land the stun. Here comes the knock up and the heartbreaker as well. Kitsune taking incredibly low here,
Oh.
but they're not gonna be able to do here. Kitsune does not have that ultimate available. He'll be up in just a little bit. That tongue lash is going to keep him just zoned away from these minions for just a little bit longer for the two of them to heal back up, make a bad engage with this volley bear.
Yeah. So nice kill onto the Graves there. I think overall it was a 3 for 2 for the side. Oh, hold up.
Ooh, yeah, they're looking to re-engage here. Kitsune trying to stave them off. There's the big ultimate, going to give himself a little bit
Oof.
more defenses, but not going to be enough to stop Toby Leroy this time. Huge kill up in the top lane. Going to really put Atlamon's lover onto the map, but Jay-Z still wants some more. Still wants some more fight, and the red
Oh.
team is waiting to give it to him. Yeah, he's waiting on the wings here. Going to spot out Tom Kench. Going to spot out Toby Leroy with that mist right there, but I don't think he wants anything to do with either of them not leaving the bushes. Ambush?
Yeah, so Lionel up 7 to 4 right now, has about a 1k gold lead, but Banco.
Oh, yeah, Bonko's in some trouble right now. Here comes Dewey, the ultimate from Syndra. Is not going to be able to turn this around this time. Is now Noshkren looking for Jean d'Arc, maybe? Okay, they're going to be able to pick up that, win the ward fight in that Tribe Rush there. And that's the only victory they're going to be able to grab this time.
Yeah, so the Syndra right now is struggling a little bit into this matchup, but meanwhile, Toby and John are very far ahead. But TP's coming out
Ooh,
here.
Noshkren healing up a whole
Oh!
lot, tries to throw out the ultimate, but Jean d'Arc with the fourth shot is going to be the one picking up the kill this time, as Jean d'Arc has to run for their lives. They're on the wrong side of the map right now. They might actually look for an execute right here. Jay-Z coming
No.
in from the side, going to slow them up. Jean d'Arc does have that fourth shot, but they're incredibly low. That's a huge Karma Shield coming across. Jay-Z's going to be the one picking up the kill this time. He can't turn this around. That is 300 extra gold going into the pocket of Graves, as now they're looking to fight around the Drake. They're able to secure the Cloud Drake. Here comes I Am Ambush. They're going to slow them up for just a little bit longer, but the blue team not going to be able to follow up anytime soon, so they're going to be able to get out of there with that Drake.
Yeah, John d'Arc does pick up the kill onto Nosh, but does fall. But I mean, it was very good what he did. He ran around and kind of stalled a little bit, giving his team time to be able to pick up that dragon for pretty much free, and able to put themselves up 2 dragons to 0. And now with Mountain Soul up, you get 2 more dragons. You have Soul very early into this game, and this Mountain Soul is going to keep your team alive, and be very, very hard to kill this Viego and this Jin now.
Yeah, and it's important to note that Mountain Soul, like Infernal Soul, is a very snowbally mechanic. Once you pick it up, it is very hard to kill anyone who has that buff already. So just going to be very, very tough here for UW Stout to catch up if that Dragon Soul is picked up, especially this one. It's really not a soul you can come back from.
Yeah, the Mountain Soul, that big HP shield, and then the stacks as well from the AP or the armor and MR.
It's who needs in some trouble here. That's going to be the ultimate, going to give them a little bit of safety. The re-engage looking for Jay-Z right here. Going to be a little bit of trouble because he's on the just blocked by all these minions here. Not going to be able to get those auto attacks off in the explosive fashion that he's hoping for here. Is Dewey and Bonko still looking to fight in the mid lane. Yeah. Okay.
Whoa!
Oh, command shockwave coming across here. Bonko taking pretty low here. Might be
Oh,
able to find the
oh
last bit of damage.
no!
Flash forward. Oh no. Was he just looking at for a second it looked like Dewey stopped for a moment
It
there.
did.
Yeah.
That is
Weird.
that is unfortunate. I don't know if it was a bug or like if he did DC or something
Lag,
or
accidentally pressed S.
yeah.
Okay. Atlamon's lover looking for the steal here. The blue team, I believe, is the one picking up the Rift Herald here. Is in the bot lane. That's going to be
Whew.
Karma going down almost immediately. Is in the top lane. Toby Leroy is in some trouble here. Jay-Z waited to dash over the wall. Dewey looking for a little bit more, but does not have that command shockwave, so can't slow them down anymore. Is Nosh Kren really not having as good of a time in this bot lane as he was in the previous game?
Yeah, really isn't as in much control as he was his last game. Last game at this point he had what like 5 or 6 kills, but now those 5 or 6 kills are on John with this Jin. He is keeping up on CS quite well, but John Dark does have his mythic item already completed. Does have the Gale Force, so yeah, he has that movement speed, has that little dash to help get him that fourth shot, and not quite enough damage there for Wonko. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely Nosh isn't having nearly as much of a game as he was last game.
Yeah.
The Thresh, the Karma does not have as much of that kill pressure that Thresh has with the hook, so
Hmm.
a little unfortunate. But he has been around and has gotten this Graves ahead a little bit. But looks like
Yeah.
they're gonna look for something. Toby is in this brush. They don't know he's here. He was not spotted out in the wards.
Yeah. Nosh Kren's in some trouble here. He's real. I think he smells something. I don't think he wants to aggress. Even if it's just Morgana in that bush, he really does not want to step on the other side of these minions here. So this is really good because it's going to be wasting a lot of Toby Leroy's time. So Kitsune can look for these more aggressive plays on this top side, even though they don't have vision on this Viego.
Yeah, but actually, it looks like he's gonna be here for the counter gank onto the Graves.
Yeah, gonna be stunned up here. That's gonna be the root as well. There's so much CC on a Jay-Z right now. He's gonna go down, and now Toby Leroy is Graves, and this is gonna be a whole lot of
Oh,
trouble. Heartbreaker comes across. Narsh Kren flashes forward. That's a whole lot of damage with that flamethrower ultimate, but he's gonna be taken incredibly low here. As now here comes the curtain call. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes across, not gonna be able to land, but
oh,
Toby
and there
Leroy
it
is here for the
is.
cleanup here. Jean d'Arc is gonna be the one picking up the kill, though. That's a really good set of kills in the bot lane. 3 for nothing in favor of Lionel Esports.
Yeah, they were trying to just pick out Nosh from the gank with Toby, but actually it turned into a counter gank, and they were able to pick up 3 kills off of it. Very well played. The gold league about a 2K gold lead now, and with Dragon spawning in 15, that's gonna put them on Lionel on sole point very early into this game.
Yeah, it's just really tough for this bot lane right now because Aphelios can still be in this game if they're able to find some lucky things, but I think they're looking for carries on other ends of the map now. They might have to look towards Dewey and Jay-Z in order to be the carries of this game now. And Jay-Z, even though they're at 3-2 right now, the best stat line for their team, I don't know if I'm particularly convinced of their play. As Dewey's gonna might be caught out
Oh,
here. That's
Dewey's
a huge
alive.
Cinder ultimate. Not gonna be able to find the kill here, but they are going to be focused out of this fight. And that does mean that now there's a numbers advantage for the red squad. As Kitsune gonna be popping Sally in the top lane. Atlamon's lovers in some trouble as they're doing a whole bunch of damage. Looking to go underneath the tower, but not gonna be able to find any more.
Yeah, so Dragon does go over to the side of Lionel, able to pick up Soul Point very early, and oh, I don't think you win this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be Atlamon's lover picking up the kill on a Kitsune underneath the turret here. They're going to kill Shelly as well, but they did lose first turret for it. And luckily, there were no extra plates to pick up as well. So Kitsune is just going to die for that turret with no extra gold. As I Am Ambush really looking for Bonka right here, but the
Ooh.
Scout of the Week is going to break the tether. I Am Ambush looks for a little bit more, but not going to be able to find it this time.
Yeah, good scatter there. Able to push that karma chain away so they don't get rooted up. But it does look like Lionel is gonna try and get this bot tower, and meanwhile on the top lane, Atma's lover is able to pick up his team's first tower, and hopefully he starts looking to roam and use the little bit of a lead that he's gotten to try and kind of break open this game.
Yeah, it's really looking tough for UW Stout in this situation, but I think they have a whole bunch of saving graces across the map. I think their team is still farming fairly well considering the position that they're in, right? There's only the biggest CS disparity is on the bot lane, and that's the only difference, right? Like Aphelios is the only person in this game on the team who's behind in CS, right?
Oh
And
no.
oh, I mean that's the combo right there. I'm Ambush is in a whole lot of trouble. Nosh Kren gonna tank up as much as he can, but
Oh,
he
field
can't
goal.
forever. Oh, that lifeline shield comes in huge. Nosh Kren gonna get the red shield as well. I am Ambush. You can't stay here, bud. Is that's gonna be the blue turret going
Oh
down, and so is I am Ambush.
no. Oh, ambush. That was. I don't think he was on vision there. Uh-oh.
Ooh, wait, that's a command shockwave in the mid lane. Bonko does answer with the bunch of balls, but Dewey is trying to run for their
The
life here.
flash?
Flash forward, looks for the stun. Not going to be able to find it this time. Flash for Flash in the mid lane, but it's a 1 for 0 in the mid, an 0 for 1 in the bot lane. It's a 1 for 1 across the map.
Yeah, so 1 for 1 there, not too bad. They do get turret in the bot lane as well, though. Mid lane, Dewey playing this very well. Bonko struggling on the Cinder, which, should be this character that really is able to put a lot of pressure and be very dangerous to a lot of these squishier mages, but is able to just kind of, Dewey's just able to
Ooh,
win this lane almost 1v1 against the Cinder. Very impressive. Um,
yeah. Kitsune might be in some trouble here in this top lane as Jay-Z tried to pick a fight with Aunt Lamont's lover, but I don't think you can really do that anymore. Look at the amount of armor this Tom Kench has right now. It's just nearly impossible to find an engage that would be favorable for you on this side of the map right now.
Yeah, and with the Mount Drake giving him even more armor, and pretty soon possibly gonna get that shield, it's gonna be even harder to kill him.
Yeah, as Tony Leroy doing some good job of clearing around the vision. It looks like this Baron half of the map might just be where the red team looks for their next objective. They are pretty far ahead, and if they win a team fight, could be a very good objective for them to pick up and look to close out this game.
Yeah, I will say though, with Lionel's comp, the Baron a little slow. Jin not the fastest taker of Baron. Syndra also not one of the faster takers of Baron. Uh-oh. Meanwhile,
Ooh,
Kitsui?
yeah. Kitsune might be in some trouble here. That's going to be the Abyssal Voyage coming across as well. Dark Binding. They're trying to throw everything at this big bear, but they're not going to be able to find it this time. No CC, no kill up on that top side. Lucky for Kitsune.
Yeah, able to get out of there with his life, but again, Baron for the side of Lionel a little slow. The only real fast taker is Toby on the Viego, but otherwise it's a little slow. And I will say Banko's build, he's going a little bit more of that support. It feels like he feels scared with his build. He
Mm,
has the Leandries, and he's going into the Zanyas, and he has a tier. It really feels like more of a supporty style of Syndra, less of the I'm gonna one shot one of your characters because
mm,
I'm Syndra and I can press R and do that, and more of I'm gonna just do a little bit of consistent damage and have the Zanyas to stay alive. So
yeah.
you know a little disappointed, hoping to see more of this aggro build and more confident, one shot Syndra build, but being a little bit behind, I can see why he's going it. Just a little unfortunate. I would think if you're picking Syndra, you'd go with something more aggro, more damagey than his current
Yeah.
build.
Yeah, and now we're seeing the dragon spawn, the final Earth Drake. This is the most important fight right now. If the red team gets this up, it's going to be nigh impossible to find these kills right now. And, the red team is doing a good job of being here first. I am Ambush is already taken pretty low here as Bonko.
Oh,
They might have found out Oriana. This is huge. Command Shockwave comes across. Noshgren is
Banko's
looking to
down.
tank up that curtain call, but he's already
Mortis
taken incredibly
shot.
low here. It's going to go down. Kitsune is diving onto the back end here, but now they're situated by themselves. Jay-Z had joined him in the fight, but that ultimate
GZ.
from Volibear is going to keep them by themselves. Jay-Z goes down as now they're looking for a little bit more here. I am Ambush is here to support the Volibear, but they're the only two members of the blue team left. Kitsune looks for a little bit more. Dewey has now re-entered the fight after teleporting after back end. They've now re-entered the fight. I am Ambush is now in some trouble. John to Arc, not going to land the snare, but that going golden is going to give them enough of time in order to close the gap. This is huge. Red team is going to be able to pick up this Earth Drake solidly.
Yeah, and that's a super early Earth Dragon, and giving all of the team, this huge shield. it feels really bad if you're Dewey because that command shockwave is such a big initiator, does so much damage. In that fight, I think he hit a few people. I know he had Bonko with that, and almost just kind of took him out of that fight by himself. It's gonna be a little bit harder to do that now with this big shield on almost everyone. It feels really bad if you're Dewey, losing
Yeah,
that soul.
yeah, and I feel like this might force Nosh Kren in order to go to a departure from what they were hoping to build.
Oh,
Oh, okay, wait, Command Shockwave on the Bonko here. Dewey's looking for a 1v1 here. The ultimate comes out from Syndra, but not going to be able to find a kill this time. The red team is peeling away, trying to collapse on top of Dewey here, but not going to be able to find it.
yeah, and that's what I'm
I
saying
did
with.
want to finish that Aphelios might have to venture away from their regular build and look to build Serpent's Fang now in order to deal with all the shields on the enemy team.
Yeah, he might, but you can see with Bonko's build. I mean, he hit almost everything onto Dewey, and he still didn't kill him. And if you're
Yeah.
Syndra with that build, Dewey's not running any MR. He's got the Zanyas. Didn't even Zanya's the ultimate. So it's just kind of the lack of damage with Syndra's current build right now, which if you're Universe Stout, that's one less person you have to worry about. But this Jin's making up quite well for that with being 11-2. There's 3 items in, working on his Infinity Edge now. He really hurts at this point in the game.
Yeah, and really, I think the big thing here is like I don't even know if Syndra needs to be dealing the most amount of damage on the team, right? Because Jin is fed very well right now. It's 11-2-3. No, John Arc finally being able to flex their muscles in these games as an AD carry main right now. Is look, here comes the curtain call. Oh, that's not even fourth shot
Oh my
damage. Dash
god!
Kren, even through the shield, goes down. Absolutely huge. That's the pick that they were looking for. They don't need a go button. They can just pick you off from super far away.
Yeah, perfect curtain call there. Landed every shot in the Nosh. No one wanted to try and block for him. They were too scared of the damage that Jin can put out, and Nosh just falls.
Yeah. As now, Volibear is going to be in some trouble as well. The blue team did pick up that one turret on the backside here, but Kitsune might be in some trouble. That's going to be a Heartbreaker. Abyssal Voyage coming across as well. Kitsune stands inside the Thunder, trying to shield themselves for just a little bit longer, but not going to be able to pick up the kill this time. Toby Leroy is going to live. Toby Leroy is going to become Volibear, and now the red team continues their lead in this game, and they might just end it here.
Yeah, they do. With this Baron buff still up, they're starting to push onto these inhibitor towers, and there's not really a lot that they can do. There's the damage that they can put out, the shields to stop this poke. It feels really, really bad for UW Stout right now. And if you're a Lionel fan, you're thinking, bring me to game 3 already.
Yeah, it's looking really rough, and it feels just like the tables have turned so much in this game right now. 28 minutes into this game, and we have nearly a 9,000 gold lead. It's about 8,000 and some change for the red team right here. They've got Baron buff, they've got Dragon Soul. Looks completely the opposite from what we saw in the previous game with UW Stout being in the basically the same spot in the previous game.
Yeah, I mean, both games, the 80 carries just popped off and we're able to get such a big lead. Last game it was Kesh, and now this game it's John. It feels like a game of 80 carries at this point.
Yeah, it really is for sure, right? Like, and I think most of it is I don't know how much of it is chalked up to I am ambush on this karma as opposed to the thresh, right? And I wonder how much of it is also Jean d'Arc being on this Jin as well. This is one of their most played champions. It is the most played champion that they have, right? Even though they have seemingly a champion ocean here, you know. I wonder how much of this is either ways because the bot lane power has definitely shifted.
Yeah, it really has. John d'Arc playing so well. 4 items in, working on his last item, which probably is going to be this GA. He has a stopwatch now, so you kill him once and he's back for round 2.
Yeah. It really is going to be tough to try to focus down on Jin because even with the stopwatch, right? I feel like a lot of high tier folks are just building the stopwatch and just using it once in these late game team fights in order to just get so much value. I feel like stopwatch was added into the game for all the folks who like speed rush grabbing, who like rush as fast as possible the Zonia's hourglass because it was so necessary to their build. that now folks are using it as a late game item to really swing a whole lot of fights into their favor because a person is just invulnerable, especially if you're ahead. Try to focus out Jin right now. You can't.
Yeah, it's one of those items where you think, man, why did right? Who thought this was a good idea? 650 gold, stopwatch, just
Yeah.
get a free Zanya's.
Yeah.
Even for AD characters, it feels like, yeah, this was a good idea. This seems fun. This seems
Yeah.
balanced.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, but it only gets one use, and you're like, sure, but then it turns into a guardian angel.
Yeah, it gets one use, but at this point in the game, one use is all you need. You use it once, you get it on something really important, and then you win a fight, and then you win the game.
Yeah, speaking of fight, that's going to be the curtain call coming across, but Kitsune immediately going to use that opportunity to
Oh,
dive onto the Jin, forcing them
uh-oh.
to cancel right here. This might be the re-engage right here as I Am Ambush is going to be completely destroyed right here. Toby Leroy and Atlamon's Lover have caught out Nosh Kren here as he now tries to peel backwards, but he's going to fall. Kitsune has dove onto Jean d'Arc here, but
Oh
the
no.
shockwave is not going to land on anyone. Jay-Z and Dewey are the only members left. Atlamon's Lover is on a killing spree. They're now looking for more. The big fish is coming through. He's got a big fish. He's a big fish. He's got a tiny hat,
Oh
and he's
god,
looking for a little bit
Jin.
more damage. Jin is going to be painting the walls with their blood, as now that's a huge snare. They're going to follow it up with just a little bit more, looking for some more damage onto Dewey. Here comes the Abyssal Voyage
They're
across the
hunting.
wall here. Dewey is looking for that
Oh
fancy
no.
feat. He's trying to get away. He can't
Ah,
dodge
there
auto
it
attacks.
is.
Bonko picks up the ace.
Wow, what a fight. 5-0. That fight lasted so long. Ambush is already respawned. Toby's looking for this inhibitor. While his team's going to go ahead and hop onto this Elder Dragon. And, I don't think this game's destined to last much longer. Ambush actually scaring Toby away. So, no inhibitor falls, but, I mean, that is Elder.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely looking really tough right now. I think we did mention that. I think you did mention this before. It's like if you are a UW Stout fan, there might be some folks who just be like, okay, let's see what game number 3 looks like, because this is just it seems insurmountable at this point. Nearly 12,000 gold separates these two teams at this stage, and now they're picking up Baron as well. They got Dragon Soul, they got Elder Drake. They've got okay,
Oh, he's
Nosh
got to
Kren.
dodge
Oh
these.
no.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4. Jean d'Arc picks up the kill. Now Toby Leroy is a Felios. Now Jay-Z is in some trouble. Toby Leroy actually taken pretty low here. Gonna use that Heartbreaker to get away. Lifeline Shield gonna keep them alive for just a little bit longer. But yeah, this is definitely gonna be a lot tough because they have 10, I think it's like 10 or 15% less HP bars to deal with here. They are pretty far behind too.
oh,
Yeah,
oh, oh,
Shockwave
no, there
comes
it
across
is.
Jay-Z. Okay, yeah, that
Yep,
ignite is going to take them low. As now Atlamon's Lover is going to be the target here, but the red team is just pushing to win. Yeah, they've got one
yep.
Nexus turret. They
They're
got
on.
the second. This is just shut and closed here for Lionel Esports.
The Bears trying whatever he can, but they're on the Nexus, and that's going to be game number 2. Going over to Lionel, so we get a game 3 out of this.
Yeah, we got a series on our hands. Game number 3 against UW Stout and Lionel Esports is coming up in just a little bit. But yeah, man, that was a pretty night and day difference for Lionel Esports there. And I feel like it just started swinging kind of at the beginning of the game there with that level 1.
Yeah, I mean, the level 1 kill, getting John to Arc that free first blood. And, I mean, look at him. He goes 14-2-7 and, really carries that game on his back. So, you know, if you're a fan of UW Stout, you really need I Am Ambush and Nosh to not fall that far behind, or John Ark's just gonna kind of take it away, being one of the higher members on his team.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is like if you want I Am Ambush to be this kind of roaming threat, you need them on a more mobile, maybe like a tankier threat. I think just running the Thresh one more time in that bot lane was probably the way to go, even though the other side picked Morgana, right? Like you're not going to be able to get as much CC right onto the bot lane, but Morgana's going to have to match your pushes, right? You're going to have to match your roams, which, Morgana doesn't really want to do, right? She wants to be hugging her AD carry, and that's why you pick her to get that safety in the bot lane. And especially Jin needs it too, right? Jin needs a little bit more attention than some of these other characters. So I want to see I am ambush on a better champion that roams around. Thresh, Leona. That seems to be some good champions for I am ambush here. And I want to see. I want to see. Maybe we can get Jay Z on the Warwick, but we'll have to see. We're gonna take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the Rift, or excuse me, we're going to be in picks and bans of game number 3 of Lionel Esports versus UW Stout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. everyone? Welcome back to Style Esports Season 9 playoffs. In this first week, we have a match of giants. Two of our best teams in the league clash against one another as we are in Game 3 of the 9th best team in the league, UW Stout, up against Lionel Esports. Lionel Esports looking for that comeback victory after their loss to UW Stout 2-0 last week, and they're seeming to go on a good path to victory so far as they have now brought it into a Game 3 after a pretty convincing Game number 2. My name is Shinkari and I'm joined by K9. We're ready to get this pick and ban part underway.
Yeah, so draft changing a little bit. Instead of the Ezreal ban, did change it up and go with the Morgana, and Lionel says, alright, if you're going to ban Morgana, then we're going to ban your Thresh. So, looks like no Thresh this game, which is unfortunate because UW Stout's support did play that very well Game 1, did not play a Game 2 because of the Morgana, and Lionel was able to get ahead and be able to win. So now, little change, gonna go ahead and be the Ezreal on Lionel, and Jhin this time on UW Stout, and Lionel with the Nami. So a lot of healing, very supportive, but you know, Nami usually paired up with that that Lucian, so not this game. And we've seen the band all series, but we're finally seeing what Stout's LeBlanc looks like.
Yeah, we're gonna see it come through for Dewey here. I do like this more aggressive mid. If the bot lane is not going to be the one to carry, throwing LeBlanc, throwing the carry position into the mid lane, I think is very good because Dewey has been playing very aggressive the entire time. And yeah, there it is. There's the Leona pick in for I Am Ambush here. Means that they are going to be very aggressive, roaming around the map, causing a whole lot of problems for so many people across the map. I'm loving this here for UW Stout.
Yeah, UW Stout, you know, Ambush, play that Thresh Game 1 very well, able to go all around the map and get so many kills. So, you know, sadly, Thresh off the table, but instead of Thresh, now that Morgana's banned, is going to be able to go ahead and go Leona, and into this Nami, it could be very dangerous for the bot lane. But it looks like Lux is going to go ahead and be the pick for Lionel. Did play this earlier and did go mid lane Game 1.
Yeah.
Xin and Fiora off the table. Meanwhile, Tom Kench off the table for UW Stout, and going to see what this final ban is.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see the Lux locked into the LeBlanc here. Typically, Lux doesn't do well into folks that can dive her pretty easily as well, especially LeBlanc, since they can navigate themselves around Lux's snares. Usually Lux's good matchups are into those kind of longer range where she can snare them in place and then do her full combo, or even pressure them outside a wave with an E, right? Especially against melee champions. But against a LeBlanc who can kind of stay kind of far away from the minions so doesn't get poked out as easily by Lux's E, and then also being able to navigate around her snares for that burst combo is very important in that mid lane. LeBlanc is definitely a very good matchup into the Lux here. This is why they banned it away in game number 1, right? They wanted to pick the Lux, but sadly the LeBlanc is going to be the counter pick here as Lionel, going for an old favorite from game number 1, going to lock in Lee Sin.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and see Lee Sin again. Aurelia gonna go ahead and go topside for UW Stout. You're gonna be able to see Kitsune on that. He's been playing mostly tanks, so gonna be cool to see him on a little bit more of a carry role. And then going for GZ, it's gonna be this Trundle, no Xin and no Warwick, so gonna go with the next best thing of the Trundle. Sad, no Graves, considering how he was pretty effective. You know, they may have lost, but he did do no, they won. I'm dumb.
Yeah, and it looks like we do get a bit of a quick notification here that Irelia is canon. So still, I think you're still pretty fine. Just a little bit more of a supportive role in this top lane here, and going to be countered by the Malphite for Atlamon's Lover. I think Kennen here is definitely a really good pickup, does give a whole lot of pick potential to this team comp that already wants to find one pick and then carry the team through that. And, you know, having more damage on a team against a team that is, you know, also very similar means that this game is going to be the game of who gets ahead early.
Yep, it's another one of those, and, you know, this Kennen Lionel's team pretty squishy. The only real tank being the Malphite, at least, and going to be more Bruiser-esque. Ezreal, Nami, Lux, very squishy. So if he can get good flanks and good TPs to get behind them, it can be very dangerous. Because if he goes, you know, less of the proto bout and more of like the one-shot cannon build, you know, you can very quickly kill some of the high prio targets for Lionel.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for them to really dive and get these kills here, and they'll be able to do it. They have a dive squad here, and Trundle can be able to keep up. It's just, you know, what is this going to look like for Jhin, right? Lee Sin and Malphite can also target the Jhin, and Nami is traditionally a Jhin counter as well, so really just a whole lot of pressure onto Nosh Kren here to really play as safe as possible. Maybe we see them go into an Edge of Night into their second item instead of maybe, you know, Lord Dominic's, right, in order to make sure that they can keep doing their big ultimate, that curtain call, and not really be affected by that tidal wave.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm, you know, kind of bringing it back to, I remember like season 6 and season 7, you know, the old lethality Lucian build where you'd go Ghost Blade and pick up some of the lethality items like that. You know, kind of an old school style build from back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what we see from the Jhin here, but I'm really nervous for Nosh Kren here because I feel like they were counterpicked a whole lot, because Nami and Lux, while Lux isn't traditionally a counter to Jhin, when we get to these team fights, basically Curtain Call puts a huge target on your back for long range ultimates that can't be body blocked, right? You can't body block Tidal Wave, you can't body block Lux Laser, right? And the second that you open up those curtains, it means that Lionel Esports has a clear target to point these ultimates at.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be very risky for Nosh to be able to get these curtain calls with the Lux. You know, he sits down, he starts, you know, pulling out a sniper rifle to get those shots, and Lux just goes, "Oh, hey, you're standing still. It's like I almost rooted you. I can just go ahead and ult you and, you know, knock off half your HP bar."
Yeah, it's gonna be once again, this is another game that's gonna be tough for Nosh Kren in the bot lane. But luckily, if Nosh Kren falls behind, they still have some insurance policy with Dewey in the mid lane, who played really well on Orianna. And honestly, I'm liking them more on these kind of carry picks like this LeBlanc, who can, if Nosh Kren falls behind, really stay in the game. And if Nosh Kren is the one that gets ahead, Nosh Kren is going to be able to follow up on a lot of these engages from Dewey here with that long range with Jhin, and be able to pick up some kills for themselves, and maybe even donate them over to Dewey.
Yeah, one thing I will say is with this Ezreal, both AD carries have been kind of playing these rather immobile AD carries. We've been seeing Jhin and Aphelios. So Ezreal being a little bit more mobile with the shift and the dash, it's gonna be a lot harder to, you know, kind of lock him down if you're LeBlanc, or if you're Kennen. It's gonna be a little bit harder to get on top of him because he is gonna have that escape tool.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see how this Nosh Kren, because once again, I think a lot of tools are against Nosh Kren right here, and he's not exactly on a comfort pick, right? Nosh Kren definitely has 61 games on Jhin, but it's just, I feel like it was a pick that wasn't like, I would like to play this champion. This was a pick like, okay, we need a 4th ban, and we need to take these champions off the board in order to play the champions that we want, so we need a 4th ban for Jeanne d'Arc, and that's what this Jhin pick was.
Yeah, it feels like, man, what are we gonna pick here? Jin's strong. Let's pick Jhin.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll have to see how well he plays on it. Jhin is a pretty strong character at the moment. He does do a lot of damage, and has a lot of, you know, util with his engage, with the curtain call and the long range root at times. But he is very immobile and very, very squishy for an AD carry.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, we'll have to see, because I think you've said it like a bunch of times. Nosh Kren is this is the 3rd time that they've played a champion that is very immobile, you know, is pretty pretty weak to CC as well, right? I wonder if we'll see the cleanse come out this time from Jin, especially against all the CC from the team. So, you know, I think the conversation here is clear. We're throwing a bunch of question marks at Noshkren in the bot lane. I still think I'm throwing some question marks at Jay-Z's Trundle, right? Because, you know, we saw them perform well in the Shin Zhao, but, you know, we saw them perform on the Graves, which was okay, but wasn't really as impactful as, say, their Warwick from last week or even their Shin Zhao from game number 1.
Yeah.
Toby Leroy is back on the Lee Sin, which, you know, was fine. I think there were a couple slip-ups with regards to the Dragon Kick, but I think that's ultimately fine. Bonko is back on the Lux, which wasn't really as successful, but I think if Lionel Esports is able to get that lead that they got in game number 2, then this Lux is going to be great.
Yeah, but we'll have to see. I think the biggest lanes to worry about here is, or the biggest lane to watch, is probably going to be this bot lane. With the Leona, especially, I am Ambush. I think that's the biggest person just to watch is Ambush. See where he goes, where he puts his time into. You know, this Lux, very immobile mid laner. You know, you go mid with the LeBlanc chain and then the Zenith Blade into the stun. You know, that's a very dead Lux very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a huge thing right here too. Like, we really need to see how this bot lane's going to go, because even if they do leave Jean d'Arc and Jin, Noshkren and Jean d'Arc on an island, Ezreal is going to be the one coming out on top because they don't need a whole lot of items. But we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the Rift of UW Stout versus Lionel Esports game number 3. Can UW Stout take the turnaround victory, or will Lionel Esports close it out with a 2-game win streak? All those questions will be answered after the break. Don't go anywhere. everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 9 playoffs. We are in the open, uncapped division. These are the best of the best, the cream of the crop, and we have two of the best teams here. The ninth seed, UW Stout, and the fourth seed, Lionel Esports. We are in game number 3. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by K9, and we're here to bring you some of the best teams that Style Esports has to offer. We are in game number 3 after Lionel Esports picked up a great commanding game number 2 victory, and now UW Stout has changed around where their carries are on the map. So let's see how Lionel Esports is able to adapt to this change from UW Stout.
Yeah, I mean, a big change from last game is they're not going to be able to pick up that early first blood for John d'Arc into the bot side. Did see that invade with last game, but running the Nami this game a little more dangerous, so they aren't going to find it. But actually, looks like Nosh and Ambush are actually going to try and do it themselves if they go for a little bit of a greedy pathing through this river. They might find an early kill or at least some summoner spot.
Yeah, and I don't see any reason for Nova Kappa and Jean d'Arc to do so, right? Like there's really no reason to get there like super early. Like Ezreal has the tier already, so he really just needs to sit in lane, right? Not the most gold hungry AD carry. So really doesn't need to be in lane as fast as possible.
Yeah, and especially with this tier buy, he's kind of just said, yeah, I'm probably not winning lane. My goal is to just try and get those early tier stacks, get a lot of that mana, be able to get those early items and that early lead. So we'll see how it goes out. This lane should be a little bit harder for John and Nova now, but they will be able to scale a little bit quicker.
Oof. I am ambush nearly landing that Zenith blade there. Not going to be able to find the engage they were looking for this time. So now both teams are tied at level 2. So yeah, no engages. I think mid lane is going about as how we planned it.
Yeah, Big Bongo with this Lux. Uh-oh.
Ooh, I am ambush gonna look for the stun here. That's gonna be the snare follow up from
Oh,
Noshkren here. Fourth shot coming across, but I am ambush is gonna be in some trouble here. Noshkren once again doing some body blocking for the support like we saw in the previous game, and that's gonna. Ooh, Lamon's lover is playing really aggressive. That's because Lee Sin is coming up. It doesn't look like they're gonna be able to find that kill. Pikachu is very slippery.
yeah, and I think I think Hitsu kind of read him out. Wondering why the Malphite's playing so aggressive there. Probably because his jungler's nearby and he's looking for a gank. So
Hmm.
able to read that and get out of safety relatively easily. Didn't have to burn any summoner spells or anything. So good read on his part.
Yeah, and this is a very good lane for Kitsune as well. Antlamon's lover having to uh go into magic resist means that you cut Malphite off of a lot of offensive capability because he really wants to be building armor, right? So now, ooh, actually, Dewey's in some trouble here. Gonna dash away from Toby Leroy.
Oh,
Gonna
Toby,
tide him
you don't want to
towards.
be
Here comes
there.
Jay-Z. Yeah, he's gonna chomp him up. Let's see if he puts down the tower. There comes the pillar.
Good
Toby Leroy is
root.
actually really great binding by Bonko. Gonna slow them up for just a little bit longer as I am ambush coming in for the
Oh,
side here.
TP's
That's
coming
gonna.
down.
Oh yeah, we have a blue team TP. That's gonna be the damage from Nosh Kren. That's gonna be the stun as well. Zenith blade to keep them in place. Fourth shot can be come
Oh,
across. Dewey's gonna be the one picking up the kill this time. First blood goes over to the mid lane of UW Stout.
yeah, good TP there from Dewey, but I mean, John Arc almost actually picks up that kill on Dewey. Had about 40 HP left or so. So that could have been a 1-for-1 trade, but turns out it's actually a 1-for-0 trade. And that's a big kill for Dewey. Gets the early Dark Seal as well. We're going to try and snowball this game a little bit.
Yeah, and that's really the name of the game when when I talk with a lot of my color caster friends, a lot of folks, I think we have one mutual friend within us who has this opinion that League of Legends right now is super snowbally. If you're able to get an early lead, sometimes, folks made the meme a long time ago, win lane, win game. Sometimes it does actually end up that way unless you are a very, very good team and can play from behind very well and have a good scaling comp. It's going to be really tough to come back from some of these victories here.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we've seen it these last two games. The early team advantage just kind of runs away with it. They pick up that early soul and meanwhile top lane.
Ooh, yeah, Kitsune's in some trouble here. Toby Leroy does land the Q. The Sonic Wave is going to dash forward. Not going to be able to land anymore as Kitsune flashes away. But
Ambush is
that's
here
a
though.
Oh yeah, here comes I am ambush. Dewey is in the flank as well. Kitsune going forward here. Toby Leroy maybe scaring them off, but Dewey definitely looking for something here. As we're probably going to see some more action to the top lane. I don't think we're done up there just yet. Oh, Dewey flash
Oh,
over the wall. Look for
1
Atlamon
HP.
slow. The tether lands onto Leona, though. Onto Lee Sin, though. They're able
Oh
to pick
no,
up the kill.
Yana!
Kitsune, no!
Oh, his next kill.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay, we take those. We
okay.
take those.
Oh, Toby though.
Oh my god, I am ambushed. Toby,
You're.
no!
Oh, good
Toby,
dot.
no! Dewey's looking for a little bit more. Underneath the turret, though, I am ambush is gonna be the one picking up the kill in the top lane. I think you take those every day of the week. That shuts down the jungler. That gets a couple kills into your support, which isn't ideal, but it does mean that they're not super far
Oh,
behind in terms of
Mabenko.
XP. Yeah, then now they're definitely in some trouble here. Is now they have to run for their lives.
Can he get
Malphite.
away?
Malphite, hello? Okay,
He gets
well, I am
away.
ambushes out of there because Malphite really has to go underneath her, but Nosh Kren is in some trouble here. Jean d'Arc is going to arcane shift forward. The fourth shot might be able to keep them alive for just a little bit longer.
Oh,
Flash forward,
Q.
auto attack, still doesn't have it. Nosh Kren is out of there.
And you know that if you're that's the one thing about roaming supports, is you put your bot laner into a 1v2, and if the bot laner is either greedy or the enemy bot lane hits a good hook or something or a good engage, he's
Okay,
alive. He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, Dewey's still looking for something here. Toby Leroy showing up. Dewey might be in some trouble here. Does get slown up, hit by the Q. They're still looking for a little bit more, but they landed onto the LeBlanc clone here. They're still looking for a little bit more. Dewey,
Oh, John,
no, Jean d'Arc
you
still
don't want to go
great
in.
body block by I Am Ambush here. Toby Leroy might look for the re-engage, but not going to fall for Lee Syndrome this time. Oh no, final spark. Bonko comes in huge. 1-for-1 in the bot lane.
Wow. Okay. Nova actually didn't die there. It was John d'Arc going a little deep. Not gonna lie on for the kill on Dewey, but Bonko comes in clutch with the final spark onto Dewey, picks up that kill. So it is only a 1-for-1. But as I was saying, if your support is a very roaming style player as Ambush is, the problem can be that your AD carry gets a little behind because they get put in that 1v2 lane. They can get dove if the jungler comes down and makes it a 3v1, or can get kind of zoned off at CS. And good job on Kren, on Nosh Kren for surviving. But I like Lionel looking for those, knowing that it's a 1v2, and trying to put that pressure, trying to get that kill. But he is able to live just by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, I don't know if Nova Kappa is going to be able to live then. They're not going to land the snare, though, so looks like I was wrong. Nova Kappa is going to be able to live through this time. But yeah, definitely a good time for Nosh Kren to flex their muscles as I Am Ambush definitely coming to this bot lane. That's going to be a good Zenith play. The snare to follow up. Nova Kappa taken incredibly low. Not even the fourth shot is going to be the one to take you down this time. Here comes Curtain Call. Jean d'Arc has already used their Arcane Shield, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to pick up a kill this time. Just force them away from lane.
Yeah, so good Zenith Blade from I Am Ambush onto Nova. Nami does have the advantage of being a ranged support, but that means you just don't have a lot of HP to work with.
Oh yeah, Dewey going over the wall looking for Bonko here. Does get that electrocute Brock, and that is the pressure that you need to put on the Lux.
Yeah, and that's the problem with this mid lane. Dewey being so oh no.
Ooh, yeah, Unstoppable Force comes across. Kitsune's going to pass that Slicing Maelstrom. They might be able to get away from this. Toby Leroy dives underneath the turret, going to be able to pick up the kill, and the tower is not going to be able to pick up the kill onto Toby Leroy. So, and Lamon's Lover gets away with barely any HP, and Lee Sin is going to be able to pick up themselves up a kill.
Yeah, I mean, they got the kill in the end, but they had to burn a little bit more than I think they wanted to. The flash had to come out from Toby, the kick as well. Ahmad's Lover, the Leona or the Malphite ult goes a little wide, but oh.
Oh yeah, they're looking for Nova Kappa here. Actually, the bubble lands
Good
onto
bubble.
Dewey. Yeah, really, really good bubble by Nova Kappa there. Definitely kept them alive this time. But yeah, they nearly found the Nami there. And this I think if UW Stout is looking to continue their push through the bracket here in this tournament, I mean, this is definitely the way to do it with I Am Ambush, right? Your support is so well when they're able to roam around the map and really provide help to Jay-Z, especially when Jay-Z isn't on the Warwick, right? Jay-Z definitely performed so much better on the Warwick, even than the Shin Zhao than they did in the game one. So having I am ambush here to support your jungler and the rest of your lanes is so good here. As
Oh
that's the Zenith
no.
Blade. There's the
Oh,
combo they're
flash?
looking for. Might be able to get some damage here. That barrier comes out huge as Noshkren in the bot lane going to be in some trouble here. Jean d'Arc is looking for a little bit more. That heal from Nova Kappa is going to keep them alive for just a little bit longer. Heal, Summoner heal coming across. Arcane Barrage! Jean d'Arc picks up the kill.
But that's the problem with roaming a lot, is your AD carry can get punished. Uh, Nosh Karen trying to go up for that CS. The bubble didn't even land, but John Ark's just able to land those Qs, land those arcane shots, get the dash, and then finally the barrage is just able to get that final kill. So really, really well played by Lionel, able to recognize the 1v2 and capitalize on it.
Yeah, no, I am ambush is going to be in some trouble here, and that's real bad. They do have a bounty on their heads here, going to flash away from Toby Leroy here. Jean d'Arc is going to be the one picking up the shutdown here as Dewey is now joined the fight. Kitsunid is here too. That's going to be the root on the Nova Kappa here. They're taking incredibly low. Can they find more kills from themselves? No, Toby Leroy's already gone down. That's going to be a double kill. Jean d'Arc is now in some trouble as Kitsunid is going to be the one picking up the kill. They might have picked up the shutdown onto Leona, but they paid for it with 3 of their lives, as that's going to be the mid lane being pushed in by Jay-Z.
Yeah, and overall going to be a 3 for 2 for UW Stout, and also getting that Rift Herald and getting the plates with it feels really good.
Yeah. Was it a 3 for 2? I could have sworn it was a 3 for 1.
I mean, Jin died first.
Oh,
yeah.
Jin, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna count it as that because they did burn a lot for that Jin kill. So.
Yeah. I count that. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, 3
Just
for 2.
making sure we're keeping each other on our toes
Yeah.
here.
No,
Yeah, you're keeping me on my toes.
Yeah.
I forgore.
I forgore. Yeah.
I forgore.
It's
Sometimes
fine.
it just do be like that.
It do be like that. But Ezreal has the Triforce, so gonna be a little bit more of a damagey build.
Yeah, the Solar Flare has come out. Bonko's in some trouble. That Trundle Pillar is really good as well. Going to be rooted up as well. The burst damage is good. Jay-Z is going to be the one picking up the kill this time. As now the rest of the team is looking to make it work. Maybe go down to pick up the second Drake here, which is a Cloud Drake, which means we're either getting Ocean or Mountain Soul this time round. The red team does have vision of the blue team right now, thanks to the Scuttle Crab, and Lee Sin is in the area, has stolen away the dragon before. I Am Ambush is going to be the one playing zoning away, and they're going to be able to pick up the Cloud Drake, which means we are now on an Earth Soul.
Trend. Go ahead and yoinking that blue buff from the Lee Sin with the W there. So,
yeah,
a little unfortunate.
Yeah. Before it was Toby Leroy the one stealing away objectives, and now this time it's Noshkren.
Yeah.
Turning the tables, as to say.
How the turntables.
Yes, of course. How the turntables.
So yeah, Mountain sold this game. Gonna be very nice for both teams here. Malphite gonna be very tanky.
Bonko in some trouble here. Dewey might have been rooted up, but okay, never mind. Dewey's in some trouble here. Bonko following Dewey actually. Wrong Dewey. Oh, that's huge. Leona picks up Lee LeBlanc there is going to pick up a pretty big kill as I Am Ambush. That's going to be the Solar Flare onto Jean d'Arc here. Maybe just to scare them off of this turret here. I Am Ambush might be smelling something in this bush.
They have to know. I think they know. I think they've sniffed it out.
How are they going to know?
How will they know?
How will they know? They'll know. How are they going to know?
How are they going to know? There's no wards.
Yeah. We here at Style Esports like to say that we enjoy watching TikToks.
Yeah. Big TikTok followers.
Any TikTokers in chat?
Any
TikTokers?
Any TikTok watchers in the chat? I watched a video on the one dude who like follows trains and does like train spotting.
Oh.
You know that guy on TikTok?
Yeah. Oh my God. He posted a video of him finding that one train that's like has a really silly name, and he was like super excited about it.
The like Dick My Butt or something. I think that's a chant. Oh.
God, I remember watching that video and just being like very oh wait, hold on. Jay-Z finding out Toby Leroy here. That chomp, so much damage. Yeah, I remember being off put by that video because I think he has like some sort of like GoPro or something that like gives like a circular view of his face.
Yeah.
And that like really, I was like, okay, I mean, I'm happy for how excited you are about the trains, dog, but like this is really throwing me off. I'm ambush.
Oh,
Look for a gank on a Nova
flash.
Kappa, maybe. Lands the stun. That's going to be the root as well. Nova Kappa going to throw out the tidal wave here. We got a teleport
Oh,
from the red side
goodbye.
right here, but it's going to even out the numbers. Malphite is now joined the fight. I am ambush is in some trouble. John D'Arc might be the one pick up the kill. Absolutely. That's going to be a 1-for-1 in the bot lane.
Not the worst thing in the world for Lionel there. Able to get the kill onto the Leona, but Dewey's looking for more. And
Yeah. Okay. John
okay.
D'Arc. I want to see how much HP they've got right now. Let's see. Let's take a look. John D'Arc,
20.
29 HP.
Ah.
Kitten Eat in the top lane here. Gonna get a
Oh, this.
great slice of Maelstrom.
Oh.
Toby Leroy taking incredibly low. Gonna kick him back underneath the turret. The Gore Drinker swipe is huge. They're now looking for more. Here comes the Trundle ultimate. There's the pillar as well. Dash over to a ward, but he's gonna get flash and chopped. Usually that's a Cho'Gath play, but today it's Trundle. 1-for-1 in the top lane.
Man, Toby played that really well. Able, gets brought down really low. Lands the Q, gets the flash kick back into turret to get that turret damage, and able to get the kill with the Gore Drinker. So very well played by him. I thought Kitsune was just gonna get the free kill, but actually it goes over to Lee Sin, and JC has to burn flash to respond.
Yeah, and I think that I think Jay-Z is in a comfortable spot right now, especially with the Divine Sunderer. We saw how much one chomp can do with damage, and now really picking that up is going to be very, very important here. Getting that big damage, because there's going to be a decent chunk of folks who are going to be building HP kind of incidentally, right? As Nova Kappa going to be in some trouble. That's going
Oh,
to be the tidal wave coming across. I am ambush. Going to be 1v2. Is that's going to be, taken incredibly low here. Noshgren's going to be the one picking up the kill this time. Is now Jean d'Arc looking for a return kill. Here comes Toby Leroy in from the side. I am ambush is in a whole lot of trouble, taking a bunch of damage from Jean d'Arc here. That's going to be the Trundle Pillar, keeping them alive for just a little bit longer. And I am ambush going to be getting away. Arcane
oh no,
Barrage.
he's not.
Oh no.
From downtown with the snipe.
Yeah.
That Jin was the sniper. It's actually Ezreal.
Yeah. Turns out it's it. I mean, their team has a whole bunch of snipers on their team as well, because Bonko did it to them earlier. Is now, yeah, they're looking for something here. Maybe Jay-Z is gonna be in some trouble. That's gonna be the unstoppable force coming across. That's gonna be
kill.
the Lux ultimate as well. Shut down onto Lee Sin here. As yeah, this is a whole bunch of wins for Lionel Esports here. This game is looking a lot more even than we thought.
Yeah, and with Dragon coming up in 2 seconds here, Jungler is down. This should just go over to Lionel. So gonna delay Dragon Soul and able to get their first dragon of the match.
Yeah, I think the only thing they have to watch out for is Dewey, right? Dewey is very strong right now, and you got to respect the damage. It's going to be the curtain call, Zenith Blade, Solar Flare coming across as well. Red team is able to
Oh, but
secure the
here's
dragon with the
Kitsune.
Blizzard for Jean d'Arc. Yeah, here comes
Oh,
Kitsune
he's not able to
on
find
the
John.
slicing Maelstrom, going to be able to pick up one, but Jean d'Arc was able to kite out backwards. I am ambush is still looking for the damage, but you have to be careful. He does have that damage. Jean d'Arc is taken incredibly low, goes
Support,
over the wall.
by the way.
Zenith Blade is going to be the one picking up the kill. Toby Leroy is now looking for the kill onto Kitsune, taken incredibly low. Nosh Kren dashes forward, going to be able to pick up that fourth shot, picking up the kill onto Toby Leroy. It's an ace. Nearly. If Atlamon's lover was there, he's in the top lane, but it's a 4-for-1 at the end of that whole engage.
Yeah, really, good engage by Kitsune, but wasn't able to find John d'Arc. But it didn't really matter because I am ambush actually. Leona isn't a support, by the way. She's just a character that can 1v1 your AD carry.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for the longest time, people were like, oh yeah, Leona jungle is a thing just because she just does a whole lot of damage. Like, it's like, if Leona was able to proc her own passive like Lux were, she would be a top laner.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
every day of the week.
She
right?
does
Because
way
she,
too much damage for support.
yeah, it's insane. Like, because she's definitely in the category of what I like to call quote unquote tanks, up there with like
Ornn.
with Ornn, Tom Kench, and then Leona is there as well, because she just does so much damage that you're just not ready for. And it's funny because there are some people who are just like, oh yeah, Divine Sunderer, kill him.
Yeah.
Do we hear?
Oh, here
It's okay. No one
comes-
saw it. Don't
It's fine,
worry
it's
about
fine.
it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this game
We
definitely
won't-
isn't
we-
being streamed, and we definitely didn't see it. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. Anyway, Adam's Lover has the Everfrost, so a little bit more
Yep.
damagey Malphite.
Yeah.
I know someone who in finals actually first time picked Malphite and told our mid laner to go Malphite mid lane and then go full AP.
Yeah.
Love you, Brennan, by the way, if you're watching.
Yep. As yeah, I mean the Everfrost build is actually really cool because you can go Everfrost and then
Cool, because
just do a
it's cold. It's Everfrost.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I mean, no pun intendo, but like,
But pun
you
also
know,
intended.
yeah, pun also intended, even when you think it's not intended, it's intended.
It's always
You know what's
intended.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. As it's just a really cool build because of Everfrost giving you passive AP on your legendary items, you can do a bunch of damage with Malphite while continuing to just stack the armor that you're looking for, right? And I feel like it's just a much better item in this particular matchup because there's so much magic damage on the enemy team that just stacking armor might not be the pathway to victory. So picking up the Everfrost here means that they can use the Unstoppable Force and towards the end of it, use the Everfrost to CC them for longer and then set up your team for even more success, even after doing like a billion burst damage.
Yeah, Malphite Ultimate, known for doing quite a bit of damage, especially if you have AP. Uh, a big, usually Malphites don't have a lot of AP, which is why
Hmm.
when there's a Silas in the game and they steal Malphite Ultimate, you kind of cry a little bit because it kills you in one shot, and there's not a lot you can
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, as now like this is definitely I don't know. I really like the Everfrost build. I think it is my favorite build for Malphite. Even though the Frostfire Gauntlet is definitely a lot more consistent. The amount of utility you give your team and the amount of incidental damage you can get by just still building tanky is very, very good. I think it's my favorite thing to come out of Worlds, honestly.
Yeah,
Besides Talon Jungle. Besides
Talon, and Zed
let's
Jungle.
yeah, oh my, no, not Zed. Talon
No,
is cool. Talon parkour. Zed is
but Zed has Shadow Ninjutsu.
whatever. Who cares? I watched Naruto like 10 years ago, dude. Come on.
I haven't watched Naruto.
Not
I haven't
even
even
like
watched it.
15 years ago.
Oh,
You haven't
TP?
watched Naruto?
I have not watched Naruto. Meanwhile,
Okay,
bot
well, you're a
lane.
fake weeb then. Kitsune
Oh,
in the
okay.
bot lane, slicing Maelstrom, a whole bunch of burst damage with the follow up from Dewey. That is a dead rock.
Yeah. Uh, you know, one anime I have watched, Demon Slayer.
Hmm.
That was like cutting the boulder. They like cut the boulder in
Yeah?
half. That's
Yeah?
what they did to Malphite right there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure. There are no swords though.
There weren't no sword. You're right.
Yeah, there weren't
But
any
there was a
swords.
chain,
Yeah, sure.
and there
I mean,
was shurikens.
okay. Where are we going with this?
I don't know.
I'm confused.
There should be Yasuo
Yeah,
versus
look.
Malphite.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Well, we're gonna get a Baron started up by the red squad here. I think this is a really good heads up play because the blue team doesn't exactly know that this is happening, but
they do
I think they might
now.
have snuffed it out. Yeah, there's the curtain call coming across. One, two, three.
Oh,
Fourth shot coming
Toby's.
across. Toby Leroy taking incredibly low here. JC flashing forward. There's the Trundle Pillar to slow them up. Dewey is on the side here. That's going to be the
Oh,
CC
good
coming
kill.
across. They found out Toby Leroy going to go all the way back too. They're going to pick up the kill on the Bonko as the teleport's coming in from Kennen here. Kitsune looking for a little bit more. Going to use that rocket belt to get closer. Nova Kappa is now in a troubling spot as Kitsune goes down. Nosh Kren is now in some trouble. Going to take a bit of damage from the Arcane Barrage, but they're not going to be able to snipe him out this time as now it's the blue team's turn to go look for the Baron.
Yeah, but they're a little low. Dewey and Nosh very low. Atmos has ult and flash, so might look for something. Is the AP
Yeah.
build?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a little bit. Atlamon's Lover definitely has the burst damage. Jean d'Arc also looking to the side here too. Slicing Maelstrom comes across. Dewey is godlike. Jean d'Arc looking for maybe a cheeky kill here. Might be able to
Oh
find it out. That's
no.
going to be the Zenith Blade. Whole lot of CC. Not this time, buddy. Kitsune's on a killing spree. The blue team is going to pick up this Baron.
Yeah, I
Although
mean,
Dewey, okay.
no. Oh no, he died. That's huge.
Dewey did die to the Baron.
No, he lost stacks on his Magi's.
Oh, yeah, that's actually huge though.
Wait, that's actually huge.
That's actually huge. How many stacks did he lose?
He lost 10.
10.
He had 20.
Yeah, so
He's
now
down to
he's
10.
yeah. Oh no. That's actually huge.
Wait, they can get Dragon off of this.
Yeah, they might be able to. Dewey's down for another like 25 seconds.
He has no
This is a
TP as
4v5.
well.
Oh wait, no, Jean d'Arc is still dead too. This is a 4v4.
Oh, MS can TP. MS can TP. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay,
He's
they're
running.
gonna go. Yeah, here we go. They're going over the wall.
Uh-oh.
There's the curtain call. The curtain has been called. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're scared off the Drake for sure. The red team does not want a single bit of this. Thanks for the leash. That's gonna be the dragon kill going over to UW Stout.
Yeah, so Dewey dying it didn't actually matter for the dragon there, but he does lose stacks on his Magi's, which is damage, so it's something. But almost, 11k gold lead now for UW Stout, and this Baron. Lionel really needs to find something, especially with how dangerous Dewey is. I mean, they banned LeBlanc this whole series, and now he has it, and he really is just kind of popping off.
Yeah, and oh
Speaking
no,
of,
Nova Kappa goes down. Their fish food, their sushi. Kitsune looking for maybe a burst for themselves, dashing forward, looking for Jean d'Arc, slicing Maelstrom, doesn't even
oh
need the Hex Flash from I Am Ambush.
no, yeah, these there's
Ooh, Solar
so
Flare coming across as well. Bonko gets bonked as now Malphite goes down too. UW Stout with the pick comes out huge as one after another the red team falls. And now Toby Leroy is the only member left to stop them from advancing onto the Nexus. Dives forward, looking for the kill,
and
gonna be able to
there it
find
is.
an ace for JZ, ace for the blue squad. Nami has respawned, but I don't think this is gonna be the fish to save the day. That's gonna be the Nexus going down. That's going to be UW Stout picking up the game number 3, picking up the series 2-1.
Yeah, very well played. I can see why that they ban I can see why they ban LeBlanc a lot, cuz
Yeah.
that's pretty scary. That's
Yeah.
that's just a little scary.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, this is what I was basically waiting for all series, right? Not specifically the LeBlanc, but just Dewey to be on a more aggressive character, right? No, game number 1, they were on the Azir, which, was very dive heavy, but a little bit more consistent damage, and just there to make sure that if Aphelios got popped off, that they were continued to do so. Game number 2, they picked the Orianna, which, a more supportive role than the Azir, right? But game number 3, being able to go in full on onto a very heavy carry style mid laner. That's what we were waiting for Dewey here. Absolutely huge. And the roaming from I Am Ambush was able to set up a bunch of kills for them as well. Like this is the UW Stout that I would that like you should be afraid of. I Am Ambush on a roaming support. JZ not might not being on comfort, but still being able to be supported by the rest of the team and waiting just a little bit longer to show up, because we didn't see Trundle in a whole lot of those ganks, right?
no, yeah. I mean, it was really it really was just Ambush and Dewey roaming everywhere. I
Yeah,
mean, end of the game, JC had 7 kills, 7 KP out of 28.
yeah,
Ambush had 18, and Dewey had 19.
yeah,
So it was really just Ambush is kind of just playing the second jungler
yeah,
for you know for UW Stout, and it was punished a little bit. Kren did die
right.
that once and was forced away and almost died another time, but all the pressure that he got, all the kills that he was able to get, there, uh, Lionel just wasn't able to respond.
Yeah. Really, hats off to both teams here. Thank you all. But with that, we are going to call it a night. Thank you all so much for tuning in. GG's to both teams. But at the end of the day, there can be only one victor, and this time it was UW Stout. So congratulations to them. They will be moving on through the upper bracket, while now Lionel Esports has to move through that lower bracket in order to get to the finals. We'll sure be seeing more from both of these teams, but once again, GG's to both teams. Thank you all so much for tuning in as well. For myself, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you to K9, my producer and co-caster for this series. If you haven't already, press that follow button. We have League of Legends action for you to watch every week and nearly every day this week and next week following up as well. So be sure to press that follow button and ring that bell so you know when we're going live and you don't miss any of this high octane League of Legends action. If you're feeling generous, press that subscribe button as well. It really helps us out. And we also have a Patreon. We need to keep the lights on. We got some good production quality for y'all to watch here. We have some amazing games, and we want to keep making sure that we can keep providing that to you to watch. So if you're feeling generous, go into that Patreon, find our Patreon, and you will be able to support us that way as well. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next match. Bye-bye.